seems we have company.
Almost about out.
The moon haunts you!
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
The moon haunts you!
Double KO!
Solo has blessed me again.
Better stop that vehicle!
Magneto, if you can play Hulk, you can dive with me and then also fall back to shield support. I can handle the DPSing.
Final score, 1-2-2. Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Alright, we're back.
Which hero do you think you want to be today?
Science solves problem. Science solves problems.
Now, who am I gonna banish from this match?
Mr. Fantastic's annoying on this map. A lot of people use him here. If he be annoying for y'all, y'all don't want him. Not a lot of Spider-Mans out right now. I have a wasted band. I use store. That's fine. That's fine.
Pick your hero.
I'll do my job either way.
I'm not judging.
I showed you I used Thor. That's why I flashed him. I'll show you I use both of these things.
I'm not Hulk.
30 seconds
He's
before you
part of me,
attack.
but he's not
Get ready. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
They think they shall be victorious? Pathetic. Embrace perfection.
Need some help.
Bogies incoming. I have suffered severe damage.
I like the cold. Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. They captured the mission area!
So long, turret.
I like the cold. Control seized!
Gamma shield! Strong again! Feels so good!
That one hurt.
They got behind you! If you wish to survive, evil robot down!
I like the cold.
No smashing us now! Is that all you got? Extermination! Enemies will attack soon!
Control lost!
If at first you don't succeed,
I went Hulk to shield my supports. If you're hard to get back to, I can't shield you in time.
I'm
Hulky! Ow! Hulk grateful! We got company! Hulk protect! Got my own cover. Nice.
I suck!
The virus
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Feels so good. Hammer shield. Right behind you.
If you guys start using cover, you'll be shot less.
I am barely wounded.
Keep fighting until we have a winner.
Wrath of Asgard.
Tandy needs help.
Stand down. I'll be ship-shape in no time. I'm doing this my way. Assemble! To battle again! I will dare the very gates of hell to save Asgard.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
This is my unnatural selection. Yggdrasil be praised. What an epic gathering across realms it brought. Embrace perfection.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I'll make them pay.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
A strong defense. Battle fury burns.
Us against the world!
Beholds the god of thunder! Slow down.
Watch me soar!
Slow down.
We're hurt.
I suppose that helped.
They captured
The
the mission
lightning of
area!
Asgard returns.
I'm the sworn protector of Quinlan. Who are you?
A nice deep freeze. Behind you.
I suppose that helped.
Double KO.
You'll fall long before I do.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
This is my unnatural out. Hostiles up front.
A shield? That'll work.
I like the cool.
I'm doing this my way! Technology will only carry you so far.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Fantastic! Oh! You must look behind! Extermination!
Us against the world!
Dragon kick!
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
You get the freaking Ultron out healed the Luna. That's how you know they weren't trying.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I have mutant powers, and a little demonic magic too.
Anyone stands in my way, they won't be standing much longer.
Gotta be quick, have no mercy.
Round
Take
one.
out the enemy.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Centuries
Wait.
I came all the way from Krakoa for this.
Alright, let's beat this scum.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, get the feeling that Loki has bigger plans than just ruling Asgard? Ultron is such a jerk! Let's take him down! A boom of light!
Well, can I lead the Guardians now?
Help!
Alright.
Double kill.
So I took out Wanda and chopped down the tree. Wanda, so we can have it.
We just gotta deliver this core and we save Morocco. Easy.
Yeah.
Look who just showed up.
Keep going.
Okay.
Time to heal.
I can restore health, remember?
Now I have to feed her squirrels.
Take my heat
Oh, so I can use that as a fucking hole. Damn, that's... Yeah, that would have been great. I didn't wonder. It wouldn't have hit the first. It was never going to happen at that angle.
Healed at last.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Maximum pulse!
Ah, I made it hit his own.
Battle of Iron. Fist beats man.
I think that scared the shit out of his ass.
You owe me. Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
That's a little. You got level 2 probably? Definitely. Okay, thank you. Damn, Ultron is just thing that me is like this dick sorry, he just falling around and just trolls all day. He's like that annoying team.
Let's take them down.
I mean, I'm talking to my team as well, but if you guys don't want to vibe, that's fine. Complaining about anyone using comms and comp is crazy.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Now, do you understand?
It's really because I can't really understand you.
That's fine. It sounds like you didn't want to anyway. What's the difference?
Be made of glass.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys. Please.
Almost there. Don't turn back
Here
now.
you go.
You owe me one.
All eyes on this
Ultron
spot.
is such a jerk. Let's take him down.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
And it's probably because of my voice not done.
Well, can I lead the Guardians now?
I haven't infected in a minute.
Your powers
Yeah.
are mine.
You stop, Storm! Listen, it's the power of it. I blocked all that damage.
We better test this out.
I rise in the name of Quinlan.
Wow, he had a bitch!
Can't stand by while the rocket falls.
I'm a menace out here. Come here. Oh! Want to take that?
Not bad.
Come here. Well, then don't your ass.
Watch out.
I have finished the job for you.
I have many faces.
You're being, if you're getting.
Arako's in trouble, but I know we can save it. Help this vehicle to its destination.
You would have failed without me.
Be right there.
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Ultron Dragon kick!
Hello.
My
I could use this.
here.
Feel the wrath of the goddess.
He's low.
Your flesh was even weaker than I anticipated. Make yourself useful.
Hey, check out this big acorn. Did we deliver this corn?
You're supposed to say, there we go, there we go, there we go. Get the fuck!
Time to heal.
So close. This is your big chance.
3.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
Healed at last.
You're going.
Tandy needs help.
What's happening? Oh, I hear footsteps.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Yeah. Wait, looks like Go Ninja.
Here's this life.
Co-op time.
My friends are here! Only 60 seconds left.
Your powers are mine!
Alright, let cue it up. Let him waste that bullshit.
You're ready. Here come the bad guys.
By the eye of Agamotto!
There we go. Do it.
You're not going anywhere.
The current score is 3-2-0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. The right heroes could make all the difference.
一夫当关，万夫莫开。
Round 2.
You know my legacy, but this is a whole new chapter.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds.
Really
Stay
fine.
strong.
I'm the tank.
I'm not sure my training is at the Save the Multiverse stage yet.
Don't worry, guys. Just sit back and relax.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, oh.
Follow so
Oh, hey, Spidey.
What's a team of heroes without iron?
I'm just, you gotta stay in front, stay in front. I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want Spidey. Trying to bait him. You gotta go forward, go forward, go forward. Get in front of me. If you're behind me, I can't see, I can't snipe him.
Better stop that vehicle!
Turn around, they're on your back.
Ultron's been scrapped.
You suck.
Good medicine. Adding to your underworld army.
Count on me.
The Iron
Before
Fist
you guys
still
heal the rest
burns.
of the team, don't be in front of me. I'm trying to be behind you so I can nab the Spider-Man when he dies you. I'm using you as bait, I'm sorry. Here you go, let's do it. Nope.
I could use this.
Just talking me, I got you. I can wipe this whole team. Ay, ay, ay. You are crap, that's all good.
Again, no tank is kind of crazy.
If you don't stand in the open then, use cover. That's not my fault.
Now might be a good time
Being support in the open is crazy. You think the medics could stand in the open of the middle field?
Say what?
You think the medics stand in the open of the middle field?
Better stop that vehicle!
War, we're doing a war here.
Our adversaries gather. Lightning confinement.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
Right behind you. Judge, jury, execution.
Give me, God, there was so much. Hold on. If you heal me, I can kill through that shit.
I'm doing this my way. Battlefield ready again.
In like 2 seconds. 2.5 seconds.
Odinson, God of Thunder.
They've made it halfway! Stop them!
Lightning confinement.
Better stop that vehicle!
Run away home, little spider. Your neighborhood needs you.
Over here. I can heal you. Enemy located. Enemy located.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Got that bitch.
Better watch your back.
The lightning of Asgard returns.
There's still a chance to stop them.
I want your soul. Your powers are mine!
Us against the world.
Chaos. Put some pep in my step.
If we can do third support, like I got this shit.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
We have a DC.
That's right. If we can get a third support, I had this shit. I've held overtime for an hour before.
Better stop that vehicle.
If you can keep me alive, I'll fight back. I don't care how. Lord, get the fuck off, bro. Again. Spider-Man don't learn where shit.
I'm just dying.
I am strengthened.
Andy needs help. I'll patch you up. Vulnerable.
By the eye of
Kill this motherfucker. Low.
Judge, jury, executioner! Our adversaries gather. I am barely wounded.
Track this enemy.
You stop them in their tracks.
Did you switch? Why are you doing damage? At support. Why? How is that helping? Every time you switch, I die. Every single time. Do you not see that pattern?
Bro, if I'm...
Bro, I'm holding him. You don't need to. Ping him when you see him. Ping him when you see him. It's called communication. That's what it comes. Is it my fault you're not telling me?
Stop them. Better stop that vehicle.
Every time I see him, I kill him. You know that.
That fucking hurt.
And again, there won't be any opening. Yes, he's going to chase you. Yes, he's like, oh, he's going to chase you. Yeah, he's going to, yes. That's why using cover reduces the chances of his team interfering and helping him kill you. If he uses cover, then I know he's only over there. If you're in the open, I gotta deal with Spider-Man and his team. And hold a point.
It's called having... Okay, calm down. It's called having
I'm calm.
position.
It's called passion.
In the fucking open. I'm not...
It's called... I'm good.
You'll need
Sheesh.
top-notch team.
Take the tip of dope. I don't care.
I am the god of thunder and the mightiest avenger.
I'm in these ranks trying to teach people stuff. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people don't get it. It's all good. But if you want to improve, that's it.
I am the god of
It's a common issue. Everyone does it.
Avenger.
That whole support string happens because people don't know.
From Asgard as a youth. Now,
What?
I would lay down my life to save it.
Spider-Man off me, I'll keep you alive. I have to...
I will, but also,
save my life.
I'm not trying to be mean, but no one else is holding the front line. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying the facts. And that's why I will hold.
Talking to you. Everybody
I don't know. I know. But people like right now, like, you know, like, they don't want to listen. If a support can lock in with me, again, be as far as you need to, so within my range of it. That's what I say. If you use cover and you master that, you can learn how to use cover at deeper positions where the enemy won't even assume you're at. That way you can heal your tank when he goes in deep to take care of the support when the DPS aren't doing that.
2, 1. Only 60 seconds left.
Anyone willing to help?
Dine with me in Valhalla.
I'm not just, you know, do that dance out here. I'm moving a certain way to minimize my damage to make it easier to heal me. When I do like this, I'm using this wall as cover from their damage so you can heal me. Even tanks need cover. It's gonna be in the open. If you're a shield tank, the more you're in the open, the more you're wasting your shield. You can spare by using cover with your team. This tree is cover. They can't shoot through it. Just up around to change your angle. And then you have sometimes you have to run away, you know what I mean? But like, generally when you're pushing you, when there's no ults, that's why when you have someone do an ult call out, that's why it helps. When I say Iron Man ult, that means spread out towards cover. Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go home.
The current score is 3, 2, 3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. The right heroes could make all the difference.
Science.
Anytime you feel stuck, I don't do it to be big, I do it because people actually need help. And the actual big streamers aren't talking about it. They're supporting bad gameplay. They're blaming the devs instead of talking about the real problem. Teamwork and cover.
I am the god of thunder and the mightiest avenger.
Round 4.
I will dare the very gates of hell.
Oh wait, no, no.
I am the god of thunder.
I'm not Hulk. He's part of me.
I'm Hulky. Ow!
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Saving the world one more time, right, Tony?
That's what we do, Bruce. That's what we do.
How did Punisher die?
He probably jumped off the ledge, down knowing with a hole. That almost happened to you one time as Iron
Battle starts in 5, 4,
on this man.
3, 2, 1.
There's gonna be a fight. Never say Hulk is stupid just because Banner is smart. Strong again. Heavy time.
Anyone willing to help? He's up behind you.
No smashing us now.
Down low. See this weird. See what number face left. Unclip. Don't be though. Don't be. They're trying. I just love clutch heals. I just love clutch.
Banner's back.
What I do it for?
Better stop that vehicle.
I think actually I'd be more effective at Iron State. She's quicker at getting rid of enemies. Like all him.
I used to be a sword master, but now
Down to 30 seconds.
It's fair.
Final score.
Yeah. But this is why I get past about it. There's a lot of misinformation, and people are arguing over two different wrong opinions, and they're never going to come to an agreement or answer. Oh, my bad, man. Hang on. Your healers out there. I got you, Alan. In a way. But yeah, I'll show you my support play. Hey, and actually, that we're talking serious.
There we go. Now you can hear me clearly. All right. If I do an invite and I can get a third person, we can have the third person act as the opponent, and then we're gonna swap places in healing. And so I may not sound that hard, but again, I got some high ranks in my. That's fine. Well, I got some high ranks I can get a hold of. Or again, I will do it against me, but the bots aren't the same, so it wouldn't even be a fair comparison. I'm not your average tank. I know my rank's only gold, but I trust me. Hey, shoot, let's history. I have any favorites really, but I don't really have. That's recent, right? This ain't gonna say much because it's old. Also 2 with 35 kills. Okay, look, let me explain something that's a massive misunderstanding right now in the community, and it's only being fueled by literal high ranks that support that play, as well as high ranks that know better, and they've forgotten or aren't speaking up. Supports aren't supposed to be looking for kills. If your philosophy is within the first 2 minutes, you see your DPS that have X amount of kills. So your philosophy is, okay, I got to do it myself. I feel you. Sometimes you got to do it yourself, but that's to really be rare. And you can only do that if you know you actively paid attention to the whole team to see who's actually doing what. If you can for sure say no one on your team's been helping you out every time you've been dove, then go ahead. They don't deserve your healing. In case you don't know this, I am a support main. I've always been a support main. I only became a tank main because I got tired of my kind not getting protected. Literally, that's how I became a tank main in Overwatch. I played Wrecking Ball, because that was literally this is how specific I play. I started playing Wrecking Ball because that was back in the time where DPS on the average they were way too aggressive. They were more overextended than the tanks. So I started to play Wrecking Ball because I figured it'd be a good way to get out. It basically DPS weren't going to change, so I accommodated my gameplay for what's what teams to do, accommodate gameplay. It was just in reverse. Technically, DPS are supposed to accommodate your tank. Technically, you're supposed to play around your tank. It's a team game. Guess you may an individual get 50 plus kills, but okay, what about the team function? And you can say, well, I got the team 50 kills. Okay, what about your support? Didn't it, we had DPS on the team with 23 kills, right? But as you said, you weren't getting protected. Now, and they may try to be there for you, but first of all, they're in the wrong position. There's so much wrong with the general average gameplay. So let me explain it. And think about how many games that do this. So we'll look at what's wrong here actually. Let me go to. I know there's been a lot of losses. That's why I'm gold, because like people freak out when I give tips. I'm not worried about my rank. I just want people to do better, because as I've heard, this same stuff happens in high rank. So much so that some high ranks and YouTubers backed a support strike. That support strike never should have happened if people were being honest with themselves. If we're to assume they really know what they're talking about, and if you watch their videos, look at how often you see these streamers in the open behind a point talking all this knowledge but not using it. Okay, like theoretically the ideal setup, so long as you have people who are reactionary on your team and know what they're doing, is like on a push point, you want the tank in the front however far he wants, but like honestly he should have a limit. You don't want to leave the team. Like that's why there is a range. That's not why, but that's part of the importance of having a range on like a leap. You can, if you're a good tank, you realize you can only go so far where you can still help your team in a hurry if you have to jump back. If you're not taking all that data into consideration, I'm sorry if it sounds like a lot, but this is what makes a good player. I'm just being real. It's not being sweaty. It's how can you say you're good at a game but not care about the details of it? You watched the last game. I was okay. Bet. Statistics. But again, so the thing that happened is the team stands in the, even if you're using, it's not fair. You may be using something in front of you as cover, but there's ideal cover and non-ideal cover. Let's skip forward a little bit. Let's try to go to like when we're all grouped up. I gotta let it load. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just back up. Okay, there we go. That one. There we go. Pause. Rotate, yes, also. But I need to have it a free camera. There we go. Okay. This is a common problem with teams. Is you got people who I'm sure from his okay, lower. There we go. Where other team? No, this is our team. So let's watch from your perspective. Actually, let's watch it from your perspective. So look at this, and this is not your fault. But the reason why you're having to heal that Ultron so much, which takes heals away from the rest of your team, is because he's not bothering to use any cover. He's in a wide open. He could be. Whoops. No, don't tell me it froze somehow. No, it didn't. I thought it did. He could be literally. Ultron could be right here. When I say use cover, and when I say cover with line of sight, this is what I mean. He could be right here. Let's see if I can see you. Let's lower. Well, you're in the open again. You're having to be in the open, but if you want to heal the team, it would be, while it's not ideal, it would be best for you to be like right here somewhere. If you're right here, you got a health pack right there. No, I was Thor to begin with. I switched off Thor to Iron Fist because because no one was dealing with the support in the back. That's why I switched. Or did I start with no? You're right. I didn't start with tank. You're right. That was the match before. The match before was the same map, same comp. Literally the same exact thing happened. This exact same thing happened in the previous match. So that's why I opened up with Iron Fist, and it worked. It worked pretty well. I was doing pretty good with him. But that's why I went back to the door, because I noticed you weren't getting protected. Wait, is this man? There's so many matches. Which did I go Thor in this match? I don't think I did. Did I? There's so many, bro. I've been doing so many matches. I don't think I did Thor at all. I did. But no, last match I was Thor. People weren't killing the supports. Dagger was popping off ult, so I switched to Iron Fist to get in their back line and deal with their back line, which is what I usually do. I only ever go Iron Fist. I only ever play Iron Fist specifically. Anytime I play him, I'm queuing him, whether it's in the beginning or the end. In this match, you were Thor for a bit. Yeah, I can't. Well, I want to try to be a liar. I don't think I started off as Thor though. You're right. Because someone mentioned that, and I said it would be fine, which is true. Because again, at the end of the day, I want people to really believe it. If you use the right tactics, you will be fine. Because I'm trying to help people break the notion. Okay, let me slow down too. Meta is not being used the way I expected. Now, I don't necessarily know what I ever expected it to be, but with the way they're using it, it's very limiting to their own game. The fact that the devs even support it to a sense. If meta was just some fancy name for a chart that did take the time to list out all the possible team combinations, and then quote the meta in that, let's say it's like a booklet, the meta would be the teams that have, you know, the highest win percentage or damage or whatever. In that same booklet though, there should be other because people, it's like with promotions, there's so many good strats out there being overlooked that would help in situations like this that aren't even considered because it's a non-meta comp. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily always meta to have 4 supports. Now it goes back and forth. The reason why meta goes back and forth is because, again, people are like blinded by it. They're not realizing what's happening is they're finding other comps that do work. If in the same season I come up with 5 comps that people just never took the time to combine that were really good, that would be quote unquote the new meta. They wouldn't add, even though logically you would just add that as an additional combination type. Now yes, meta is changed, so they've molded the word into meaning a specific setup, which is like, again, not what I tell my other people who watch my stream is it's like that's like using a calculator as a timer or no, as a clock. It'll work. It's just gonna take a lot of work. Think about. I'm not saying you weren't doing a lot of healing. And it's not people, and it's not even this isn't your fault, but it can be if you're pocketing one tank, whether or not they're doing a lot. And let's say you get 30,000 kills and 10K to go to your teammates. There's people like, you know, your team needs you. So there are moments where if you basically by the end of the match, a support who's looking should know, like if it's a two-part match, you know going into the next round who's doing the most work, and you're not going by kills. You can, but if anything, if you recognize a problem, the people who you're pocketing should be those addressing the issues for you, because you are, while the tank leads the team, you're the engine to the team, literally. So if you're not being protected, how can the team, you know, operate? Now, again, there's things that everyone on the team can do to help out. You need to call people out who aren't doing their job. We are out of position. Yes, well, okay, here's the thing. Here's why I didn't touch that grass. That would have basically 6 times out of 10, that's going to tilt the chat. Because again, remember how I said, well, back to my point is, especially ever since the support strike, the reason why a lot of supports are in the open is because they're worrying about damage. And again, that back to my point of the reason why supports start doing damage, and the reason why it's been an infinite snowball, is because they see the stats and they see, oh my God, it's been, again, and it may not be that DPS's fault. That's why I tell people stats don't mean anything. They don't. They're just numbers. They're literally just numbers. Like, the only time stats should matter is if you know you're all working as a team function. Then at the end of the game, people can look at, you know, if you guys want to dish it out, you can talk about who did what. You know, that's different. That's talking about role wise, who played better. Well, you know, if you got 2 DPS fight, you know, talk about numbers, they should be fighting about who covered support more or covered the point more. Not what do the numbers of the kill? If it was like a detective, if it was like a court case, the numbers don't tell you the details of what happened. They don't. They can to a point, but it's a very vague thing to go by. Curious, you tell the ones who. I didn't tilt you. I wasn't trying to tilt you. You people, and I'm not even holding at fault. You took offense to what I was saying because you thought I was saying you were doing bad. But my point was that you needed to. I was just being honest to not stay in the open. I mean, but again, and at the end of the day, it's like I'm retaliatory. I'm cool. I'm cool. But basically, bro, I've done at this point thousands of these games at this rank and below. I was bronze 6 days ago because I was down there, and I got fed up with that. I'm gonna go back, but right now what I'm realizing is people are gonna, because basically what happened was I ranked up to gold, and I would have kept ranking up, but then the reset happened, and I'm like, and what people don't realize is when that reset happened, people who were gold rank got reset to bronze. Did bronze rank seem harder this season? Why didn't tell me it? Why didn't tell me when I'm on that? Okay. And then we'll get back to I'm not here to troll nobody. Right now you're not trying to be because of your teammates, but right now you're in the open. It would be better again. Well, that was what I was going to say already. If you want to heal the teammates, it would be better if you were. Whoops. It would be better. I hate that. That's the same button. If you were here, if you got pressed by Spider-Man or whatever. What?
Mic off.
Sorry about that.
Mic on.
Sorry about that. That doesn't. But how fast can that change? Okay, sorry about that. But how fast can that change? Spider-Man can literally zip in the blink of an eye, as you've seen. But I'm not. That's my. Okay, let's see here. Who do they have? They have Hella. Aren't any one of those point Loki? Wait, let me put it this way. Hang on. Because this is at. Let's see here. But we gotta see at the because I'm like not. I'm stopping at like inopportune times. Okay. All right, turn this thing. Oh, there it is. If the enemy team can see you at any point, you're in the open. Just because cause here's the thing. You don't know where the enemy is at. So what I was going to say, but you could argue, which wasn't fair, is yes, but there's no one. You're not in danger. But like my point stands is that can literally change at any point. You don't know that. There's no way you know that the enemy team's all over here. Now, yes, you have people fighting, but there's can be moments where it's an Iron Fist right here. My point is, rather than even risk it, ever heard the phrase safer than sorry? It would be better if you want to move up here. Cool. Again, back to what I said. Okay, back to my point over here. This whole tunnel, you should have been hugging. I honestly, ideally, this whole tunnel, even for as fast, luckily, again, we're rolling them. But in a real situation where people are contesting, you're not going to be moving this fast like this. So ideally, realistically, it would be better if you came in here, let's say you wanted to use, I can tell you're trying to see as many team members as possible. So I see that. I'm not saying you're not trying to be there for the whole teammates. Oh shoot. Okay. But it would be better. Are you saying it would not be better for you to be around right here? Like again, as let's back up a little bit. Because this whole point here, because they were in that hallway. All right, let's see here. It's the phrase, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, yeah, like it's like, and I never know how much someone will listen, so like it'd be pointless for me to try to like convince you without showing you what I mean. I gotta wait for you to respawn. Like at that moment we were pushing them back, so like that's like me giving you flag for typing when it's clear. Hang on. And then there we go. Okay. Let's kind of zoom out as it plays. Okay. I'm not counting this. I'm watching because like I gotta tell you about certain moments because I'm not trying to target. Hang on.
Lights out. Taste my pain. Tandy, watch out.
My time to shine. Ultron is such a jerk.
Like I won't be mean. Like again, so you're saying again you survived on it, right? Cool. You're saying it wouldn't be better. Yeah.
Still here. Don't you put me out.
I have suffered severe damage.
So okay, let's see. Okay, this is where you're at. I get you. Okay. Because again, you're saying you're trying to play around your team. So let me, while you're back here, damn, I keep going further and further back. Okay.
Still here.
What I'm trying to show you is this. It starts from the beginning. It literally starts from the beginning. It's a rollout. It's literally.
Don't you put.
It literally starts from the beginning. Like, okay, I'm not trying to nitpick. Because literally, the very first encounter is so important, and it sets the pace. Because from that whole point, we never regrouped.
Glad to help. Ultron is such a jerk. Let's take him down.
We got a shield, Tandy.
Even better than my mutant power.
Lights out.
My time to shine. I appreciate you.
Guardians now? Oh, Thought you got rid of me. Think again.
Hold still. I'm trying to help.
Nah, I've taken down Ultron before. No swag. Look who just showed up. That put a spring in my step?
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
Doreen, no. Now I have to give her squirrels.
You got a shield, Tandy. Taste my...
That put a spring in my step?
Hang on, I'm just showing you something. I know I see your question. I'm showing you something.
To protect your rear.
Hurry up.
I mean, it's a thing where this team is not a good example to use, but you see that you're in the open, right? Like I'm not, like again, I can't give an example because no one's looking for you, but that's again, there's several issues going on with our team was doing the same thing. DPS aren't looking for supports like that. But like, okay, let's ask you this: you're getting away with it because again, that's why I try to teach people. Cover doesn't mean having something right in front of you. So long as your line of sight is broken from the enemy, that's cover. But ideally, even if I'm saying, here's what I stand on. Even though they don't happen to ever actually press for you, if you had a team that was more aware, if you have a team that's more aware, you're telling me if someone happened to come around that corner, you'd be in cover. And I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm just like, my point is, if you are like, you're saying in the events, even if there's a 1% chance of someone diving you, you're saying being here is better than, like, again, I gotta get a feel for the game to know how the movement's going. So like, this is kind of rough, but like, you're saying it wouldn't be better to be here healing Iron Man? I'm not saying you're not. I wasn't saying you're not healing, but all I'm saying is you're. I forgot where the complaint was, because the last complaint I had was someone was getting dove by Spider-Man, and I think that I don't know if that was you or the previous person. I think that was you though. I thought was they were saying they were being dove by Spider-Man. But I'm again I gotta start taking notes so I can remember different people's points. Well, and right again, it's because I'm trying to make you see that I'm trying to be as fair as possible. That's why I'm looking for things. I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm trying, like, again, you're saying, okay, let's take 10 teams out of 10 teams. Where you're standing right now, even though you don't see anyone, that's why it's really only fair to see how you act when there's other people on the screen. Right now, there is no threat. So like, no, I'm not saying you have to use cover. I'm not saying like the moment you spawn, you gotta, like, well, again, it's situational too. I'm not saying the moment you leave spawn, you gotta go box to box to box to box for cover. But in the event of a team brawl, like you're in the, like, if I was like, I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, I'm a hunter. When I play Iron Fist, I'm hunting. If everyone uses, that's what I'm teaching though. If everyone used tactics like mine, which are easy and obvious, I'm a hunter. You're separated from your team. You're in the open and separated from your team. There's not much you're gonna be able to do, and you know this. You know those two aren't looking for you. Look. And that's why that's people talk about my stats. I'm there looking for my teammates, making sure they're fine and good. I don't give a fuck about my stats. I'm making sure you're covered. So again, you may not even see the threats. Ideally, if I'm on your team, you're not seeing the threats that could come your way. But again, if they get behind me, again, we're talking about in the events where you say you need help and when you get overwhelmed. Again, you said who are you getting attacked by? I'm sorry, I can't remember this. Who are you having trouble with? 'Cause I know you said, I know you're in the open, but weren't you having trouble with someone? What's the second point? Okay.
They don't look friendly.
Your god is suffering.
I'm sorry.
Time to go
The reason why I make so many typos is because this is a 4-week-old keyboard replacing the last keyboard that did the same thing, but the keys are getting worn. I play so hard that the keys get worn, so I gotta guess what button is what sometimes. Like they're white. This is a black keyboard and it's turning white. But okay, there we go. And that's we'll just do it from about here. About here. Do you want? Well, we'll do your perspective because I kind of want to show you my perspective because people think I really don't try stuff, or people think I'm really not up. I'm not doing shit. I play the ultimate for the team. I play to because if everyone worked the same way, there'd be less corrections. But ideally, I'm playing to accommodate for our team's weakness / corrections that need to be made. Ideally, the way a team function works is you have a tank who has a certain ability, and he may have a certain obvious weakness. If you got a tank if you got a thing, then you know there is a good chance between him diving and pressing that people can get past him. So you're going to want, ideally your DPS should be looking for that happening. They shouldn't be off diving too much unless they know you're safe. I know, I'm just, hang on, I'm trying to find it. There it is.
Ultron's been scrapped. Control.
But again, even though you're only safe because your teammates are taking care. Again, that now again I'm not trying to be a dick, but like that you are in the wide open. This is what I'm talking about though. When someone's gonna hunt you and you're out in the open, this is going to happen. I'm not trying to be a dick. That's what I'm saying though. Just because you feel safe right now, that's what a dive wants the most, is for you to feel safe in the open. So like again, you do yourself the benefit by yes, the points are always moving. That just means you're always moving from cover to cover. But I'm not saying do it in a way where it slows you down, but it benefits you. Like again, especially again, like I said, it's circumstantial. Yes, you don't always need cover. If they got a, there's different moments for different levels of cover. You know what I mean? But like I was gonna say, like it's very specific. Like, cause even like the only time you don't need cover, or if you really don't want to, cause it kind of doesn't matter as much the moment you're discovered, is if it's like a mainly melee or short range team, because they're coming short range and they're looking for you anyway. If I'm playing Magic, I'm looking around the corners I'm sticking to the sides looking for support anyway. So either I'll find you or I won't. But that means I gotta take longer to find you, meaning it takes me longer to get stat value. You know what I mean? My team, if I'm out here and I'm taking forever trying to take out, like even me, like I will acknowledge if it's taking me a long time to get a good chance to attack someone. There's a difference between me not getting healed, and not trying to blame you. There's a difference between me if I feel like because ideally, it's a thing. And sometimes I go in knowing my supports can't heal me, but I only ever do that when I notice, as I said, that's why I started tank. When I notice DPS being overly passive in playing the open, then I go Iron Fist for several things to deal with the problem, so I can pinpoint. I can dive back to my support really fast with my leg kick, and I can hopefully show someone on my team that it truly is safe. Because usually I'm trying to convince people to go a different route. Because what most likely happens is people use the same route. They keep going out the middle, and they never ever, unless I say something, even then they argue with me. They never ever go to left or right. I have not been up. What?
30 seconds before you attack.
Why is the team fighting there when the card is around the corner?
Get ready. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I never said you were the problem. I just said for your own sake. My point is this. I took a moment because you asked to teach you how to be a more clutch support. If you, again, you can play in the open. Again, just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's people, and that's my thing though. There's supports in high ranks who think like this. They think because there's been an infinite number of games that they have gotten away with playing the open, that's a reason to play, to always I don't know, okay, I'm not trying to show if you're Russian or whatever, but the Russians, if like well, I'm not saying they didn't use cover, but like, or it's not show, like in war, if you're a team, or if you're a country, or well, it's I mean, look at the revolution. It literally is why they changed. It's literally why they changed it. Back in the day when they had thousands of bodies to dispose of, and when people didn't have say, they literally stood in the middle of a field and shot at each other until someone realized, wait a minute, it's better to use cover to minimize that damage so we can actually beat a bigger army. Like again, you're the way, here's how I see it. This may be nitpicky, but I don't think it is. If you can see the enemy, they can see you. Even if these folks happen to not be trying to, you can be seen. Like that and my thing, when I say it, I'm not joking. When I say it hyperbole, but when I say when you're open and say that when you're open you can be seen a mile away, I mean that. That's what I mean. If you have the capabilities of being seen a mile away, you're in the open, whether you're safe now or not, because in the heat of battle that could change at any point. Am I wrong about that? Are you saying that in this same exact scenario right now, even though there's only one cloak coming through and they happen to be low health, you're saying right now, if we freeze this moment in dice roll teams, you're going to say there's not going to be at least a 5 out of 10 chance of people coming around a corner for you, seeing you? Okay, here's the thing. Yes, yeah. I get that. Bro, as I said, it's a layer of problems. But like, as I said, there are things there. Literally, if I can get a support that can lock with me, two people can carry a game. Now again, and that drastically depends on how good the enemy support is, or enemy team is in general. But generally, at this rank, in most of these ranks, in most of these games where people aren't using teamwork, two people can carry. And I wouldn't have said it before until I played Iron Fist. But if you got a support that knows, I'm gonna tell you, if you got a support that knows how to use deep cover, and they can pocket an Iron Fist, a Torch, Thor, Venom, anyone. If again, you're telling me a support that knows how to use cover at any angle wouldn't be more clutch than someone that's fine with being fine half the time in the open? Not necessarily. I've proven it many times that Okay, that's fine. You don't need support to win. If the whole team uses cover, and at worst keeps, and I'm saying this because deaths aren't necessarily always good. At worst, keep deaths at a minimum, because it can happen. If again, it comes with coordination, and not extreme coordination, just the idea that, okay, guys, we don't have a healer. We got to make sure to use cover. Honestly, when I tell people, when people want to listen, I'll be like, okay, when you take covers in pairs. You can choose to play around abilities. If you're a Punisher and a Rocket, I would pair up, because he can dash. When Punisher uses Smoke Bomb to clear out, him and Rocket can literally dash out the other direction, and Rocket can keep him alive while they, again, if people made it more of a thing to work together. What the heck did he eat? He ate something. Well, because again, back to what I was saying before, meta is not being used how I thought. Yes, you will have an easier time winning a game with any support, let alone Waters 1 or 2, but you don't have to. If you, I've done it several times with people. I've done it, and I've shown it with randoms too. Be like, no, we got this shit, and I just tell them use cover, take out, and if you take out threats, if you're like, we have no healer, oh, there's a torch, okay, and if no one else can kill the torch, I kill the torch. My point is, if you eliminate, again, this is, people will try to act like they forget or they don't talk about it like this, but this is a strategy game. It's not any more or less a strategy game than League of Legends. There's strat to this. So again, if you find this, if you want a challenge, you can put yourself in a situation where there are no healers. Hang on.
Mic off. Mic on.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, okay, and here's the thing. I'm gonna be, and I'm not gonna be, because like not a lot of people know how to do it. Dagger is one of the most clutch supports you can be. You don't even have to aim. There's times, and my thing is your healing number doesn't really matter. There's times where people know I'm being clutch as I don't know. People say it's like they're overhealing. I don't think there's such thing as overhealing. Like there is, but often in my games where we're crushing people, I'm getting anywhere from 2 to 7K healing, because and it's the only time. How does he know? Like, and I have other support. Like because it's been very few times where it's just me, but even in like Ana was the only hero who ever played where I know I was the only one healing, and even in that game, I only got 14,000 K. Like usually my high numbers are 14 to 17K, but I'm being very efficient with my healing, and I always wrestled with that, and I still now do. Now I talked to Necros was in someone's chat recently, and I asked a question about damage, an inverse question about damage. And he said, high damage isn't necessarily a bad thing. High damage can be a sign of cover fire. And I kind of let it go at that, because that's technically true. But it's like this. I think it's both for DPS and support. Your numbers can be big as a sign of inefficiency. And that inefficiency might not always be your fault. Again, if you're having to pump 20,000 damage into a frontline tank, and you're stressed by that, and again, that proves, again, if you're able to and having to pump 20,000 damage into a tank, but the DPS are complaining about not getting healed, maybe that tank shouldn't be so in the open. Like that's again, there's several. Again, I haven't had time to go into it, because that's why I tell people cover its own subject. There's so many things to it. That's why the cover is different for who you are. But ideally, the more your team uses cover, the less damage they take overall, which does two things. That's less healing you're having to worry about. Meaning you do have more healing, or you can be more selfish about using your kit to save yourself. You don't have to save it to be clutch. Like when I have the chance to, if I want to be a support clutch, I go dagger, because if you know how to use cover anywhere, that means you can be up close to the team using proper cover. Meaning you're off this. You have a nefarious. If you were right here, I'm gonna be real. If you were. Oops, there you go. If you were. Now again, this is kind of a bad frame to leave, but we know our team was right here, right? If you were right here, if you're right here or right here, you're by this health pack, you're hard to see, and you don't really got to aim that hard with dagger. I'm not trying to insult you, but dagger, the moment you pin them, you got them. Now again, it's also on your team. It's not just on you to keep people. This is one thing I had to learn as a support. It's not your job necessarily to keep your team in your line of sight. It's a collective experience. If your DPS are going to positions that put you in a bad position, that's their fault. That's why I tell you that it's important to take note, not of stats, but of who's actually taking care of problems. Look at where teams is. No one is there. I know, that's what I said. Okay, I'll back up a little bit if that matters. It shouldn't, but okay. So like, if this is where you want me to, I'm not trying to have it. I'm not trying to load the, what's the phrase for it in the court? Load the ballot, but I know that's not the phrase. It's similar, but that's not the phrase. But okay, so let's take a step back. Wasn't there. And let's look at what they have here. They have a hella. Strange could TP behind you if you want. Again, if Strange fell back, he could TP behind you. Punisher could zip line to you. C could fly. They have now again to your disadvantage also. Wait, also for. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, again, that's why I'm trying to. That's why I want to do it from the beginning, so it didn't feel like I was picking scenes. You feel me?
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
So let me pause it here. Let me pause. Okay, you know how you can tell? You can tell by how people start in the beginning. Okay, let's see it at the right second. Where's the team when things start? Because you know the battle's about to start. And it's not just you. But at this point, the team. Now I'm different because again, I'm trying to get people to notice me, to absorb that damage. I would rather have people focus me, and then ideally the Flyers would take care of those people focusing on me. But if they don't, whatever. But if this was a team function, there you go. I'm getting used to operating that. If this was a team function, it'd be different. But Iron Man, first of all, look. First of all, over here, we got Star-Lord over here doing I don't know what. I don't care how many kills you get. When you're this far from your teammate, there's no way you can help them. I don't care how many kills you're getting. You're not getting a kill for your team. You're getting a kill for yourself. Stop. And they may, again, that's why I don't, when there's a game where one person rolls a whole team, I don't care about that. Because, okay, cool. You rolled a team, cool. Where's the teamwork? I mean, if you don't care, cool, okay, cool. Why, if you don't care, go to COD. Like, you want a pat on the back for killing a lot of people, cool. I only get impressed when there's a team function and then someone gets a lot of kills. Or honestly, 9 out of 10, when there's a when there's a good game, I'm usually talking shit. I'm talking good shit about the support, about how clutch they were, and I'm not just doing it to blow smoke. I'm doing it because like usually it's those moments where supports are the top of the clutch. They make the clutch work. My clutch Thor can't be clutch all the time, if ever, without a pocket. That's just the truth. That's just the truth of the matter. I can't do what I do on Thor without a support that's going to be there for me. But that's why I try to communicate with so many people, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to spread the idea of teamwork so that I and other supports get landed in a higher probability of a team that'll work together with proper formation. But right now, yes, you have no protection, and I'm not going to pick on you, but like you're not in any better position yourself. You're on even though they can't see you right now, you're on low ground. Regardless of what we know or don't know will happen, you're on low ground right now. And you see your team is overextended. Now, again, first of all, I'm not that far away. I'm close enough to where I know I could fall back to you. I'm in the middle. I try to center myself as much as possible. That's why I'm like, okay, I see where they're at. So anyone, if anyone gets in trouble, I can help them. I'm standing waiting because I'm waiting for anyone going for my supports. You see me looking around. You just said they can't. Yeah. What do you mean? Earlier I said that, but like the point is that you have been saying, yeah. But earlier when you were at this similar scene, I said yes, Teddy. But again, I didn't know how you would take it. But again, like I could like. The same way you, okay, I shouldn't patronize you. You're right. I shouldn't patronize you. But basically, earlier when I saw this, like technically from your angle, like okay, if you want to nitpick, right now they can't see you because they're in a spawn. But if we're looking at the reality,
the battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
If we're looking at the reality here, yes, they can't see you right now. Yes, technically, physically, physically they can't see you. Through physics, they can't see you. But at any point they could come over that. Like, if that team managed again, what if our team couldn't stop them? You know what I mean? And it's a thing where here's the thing too. There's been times where I've been the last DPS left or last tank left, and if a support's able to heal me, I always win the fight. And so that's why it'd be better. It's one thing if I was asking the world to do something that's very niche and hard to do, but it's literally to your benefit. It's literally to your benefit to at least like use cover here. Like if you were here, you can still see the team or up here. But like look, and again that's the thing. Here's the problem with your position too. That it's like, and I told like this is a problem. I had a Strains in my chat that loves Strains, and he says generally when he's getting pressed, what he does is he holds shield while he backs up to his support. And I told him, even if you have two supports, listen to that situation there. If you're a Strange holding your shield up, even if you're getting giga healed, like you, it's fine. I'll try to. But what now? Then we need to change comp? What? The comp doesn't matter. The comp wouldn't change where you need to be or how you used to stand. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to tell people about meta is meta. It's all being used wrong. Like it's like it needs boiled down and again, it's literally not being used how I thought, because any comp will work. The only difference between the only difference between a team is their abilities and their kits and what they're weak to. For them, we have technically 2 in a hybrid flyers. So technically they should be using cover 2, but they're not. The enemy team. Look how common it is. We lost to a team using worse cover than us. Think about that. Look, I'm sure he feels fine too because I got that big wall there. But people don't like. But look. 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 All look. I mean, okay, I can't up is kind of hard, but like, he could be right there and like in the shadows, like literally hard to see. Like again, if this is too nitty gritty, let me know. But like, if I'm Loki, 'cause I love Loki. I got a dark cloak outfit on. I could be right here in this corner, or right here if you're worried about seeing line of sight. But he could use this box here as cover, going around it. Hang on, let me go back. There he goes. Look, they're just running down the middle. If you had cover, so here's the thing, if our whole team had used this whole area for cover in a way that, because again here, let's see here. There's a health pack there. There's a health pack there. Let's see here. And what I generally tell people if they're supports is if you can use high ground cover so you can see the most. Honestly, actually, because of how this map is structured, you probably have a better time having more flyers than ground DPS, because the flyers are easier. Flyers will be easier to heal. Honestly, with this, especially in this section here, it would be very hard to find a lot of good cover. Like, this is the idea that everyone, when I say cover, people think they need to find their own cover. Again, that's why I try to encourage people to use more double cover, because that reduces the spread of the team, especially if it's a support and a DPS, so they don't have to worry about line of sight, and that support has a DPS right there to cover them, to take care of them and protect them. But that doesn't always happen. But ideally, realistically, I'm gonna back it up. Look, but what I cut myself off saying is, when you put yourself in the open like this, especially with no cover, all you're doing is asking for that pressure to get pushed to yourself until you have to move. And then the whole time you're moving, people are taking damage and they may die. Again, I never said you were the one sole problem on the team, but I was speaking individually to an individual person about what you can do to improve yourself in any match is make sure to use more cover, period. And if you're trying to argue how that's not true, you can argue that if you want, but again, assuming you had a better formed team, you're telling me being in the middle when they fall back isn't a bad idea? Well, and that's the thing where supports have this notion right now, and I don't know, it's definitely happened ever since the support strike, but I'm not cocky enough to say that that's what caused it, but definitely related, because it was already happening before the support strike, but it's just amped up since the support strike. But supports be too focused on damage. Unless it really is a clutch kill before someone killed me, how does you taking the time to kill someone else keep me alive, tank wise, DPS? Again, if no one else is doing the job, that's different. They can't complain. But again, if you're trying to claim yourself a good player, the moment you notice someone else finally taking kills, you should re-engage into falling back, because by the end of the game, you know you were more and more in the open. Because again, I get it, you were doing more and more damage trying to make a difference. But ideally, again, not everyone's going to be like me, but I did switch. That's why I opened up with DPS, because generally what happens is I play Thor, I hold a team back for the whole match, getting 30,000 plus block damage, and the team gets mad at me because I got 0 kills and 4 deaths, completely oblivious to the fact that I was standing in the front line holding back the team pushing into us. Like, again, people it's a naivety thing, you know what I mean? I can't even be fully mad at them, because people really just don't understand. Some people just aren't even aware of how big the picture can be. It's small because it's a video game, but the big picture is I don't have a lot of kills because I'm stuck here holding back that force, and I'm having to take longer to do it because DPS isn't efficiently killing the support. That's why, again, when I'm telling you to take more cover and that you're saying you're safe here in the open. Yes, if anything, that's not a calling to your cover. That's more telling of the enemy team. That's not supposed to be the case. A support, a little. Think about that. Think about if you're that enemy team, and you heard the support say, "Standing in the white," you're in the open. Okay, right now no one can see you, but you know you're in the open. Stop that. You know you're in the open. So how crazy is it for support to be able to stand in the middle of a field and say, "I feel safe," and you were safe. Your other support.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Right, I'm talking about the Ultron. You're saying they had more damage than our DPS. No, I didn't. I didn't. Again, you keep saying I called you out. I didn't call you out. I just said you made a comment, and I said, oh, I don't remember how it happened because that's how little I really care. The only thing I care is to give better advice for people to do better. Again, that's what we're talking about here. That's how we came here. That's what you told me to stick to the point. The point was about your cover. You're in the open, and you know you are. From the moment they walked out the door, you're in the middle of the path. You know they're at, like, even fuck the team. You know the point walks down that road, so you know at some point they're coming that direction. I didn't. The Ultron wasn't even comms. The only reason why I bothered to give you advice was because you bothered to communicate that you were disturbed, and and first of all, it was never even mean-spirited. It was sassy because of the tone, but it was, again, the whole it was sassy because of the tone, but it was sassy helpful in the fact that the truth of, well, if you use more cover, you won't get dived so much. But again, that's me saying that's not blaming all the problems on you, but it's the truth of, in the events that you could, I'm not blaming you, but you might have been able to make a difference. Like, if they can't see me, I am safe. No, all I agreed on the fact that, you know what, yeah, technically they can't see you, but that doesn't mean. Okay, let me see here. Let me think of a real world example. You can't see me, I'm safe. If you're getting chased by a serial killer and you run into a store that has windows and you lock the door, but you stand in the middle of the store, and the killer just happens to be on the other side of the wall, you're not safe. And again, that's where it's not. Okay, if you want to, again, everyone can get the smoke. I'm not singling you out. But well, I mean, I was talking about both. If you're gonna, well, okay, Ultron, whether Ultron or not, support, again, whether you're DPS, support, tank, whatever, as I said, you should all be using cover. If you all use cover, there's less damage across the board. Ultron felt it in his bones for some reason to do the damage. Can the killer see me? Well, let's find out. Let's find out here.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint.
Not at that moment. Do you know how life works? Like life in the meaning of time, things chronologically change. It does, just because he can't, in fact, yeah, they can't see you. That does not prove you're safe. No, that was not the same way. You're not the sole issue. If you're saying, okay, if you believe you have top line healing, wouldn't it mean, assuming you didn't take damage? I mean, but if what you're saying is if you hadn't died, you would have been able to keep us all alive, why wouldn't you take a position that would automatically reduce any amount of damage you would take? Seen right now, we're not. We're same with the Ultron. I'm sure, yes, it definitely would have helped if they healed more. But also, and I've seen people play it, Ultron doesn't really do a lot of healing. Actually, wait, first pause. Ultron, you know why Ultron is the way he is? And why I think they built him the way he is? Because of the community. Think about how many DPS, let's not count you. Think about how many DPS daggers, Jeffs, Mantises, Lokis there are. It's the creators and devs at some point, even if they want the game played a certain way, that's how Overwatch kind of got kicked down, was because they were following the community. Where the community felt targeted because they couldn't defend themselves with dives. So devs made a character that always coming out, and they gave him more firepower, and to balance it, because people can't plan around things, they gave him less healing. So like, the moment you see an Ultron, I'm not condoning it, even if they're trying. Rockets can pull it off because it's easy, but like, it's easy and hard at the same time. If you don't know what you're doing with Rocket, it can be hard to get those high numbers with Rocket, especially if your team doesn't stay near you. But Ultron is automatic. There is never if you have two players of equal value, Ultron should never out heal a dagger. I get that, and that's good. And I'm not talking about your stats. I don't care about stats. I care about gameplay. That's all I care about. Teamwork and gameplay. And so again, if you want to look at this,
I don't think Ultron's influence over this land must be.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Tandy needs help. Welcome to the dark.
Look, I'm not. Again, that's what. Again, I'm gonna show you how fast. Look at how fast your safe area becomes unsafe. And again, whether it's the fault of your front line for holding or not.
That's better.
Tandy needs help.
Squirrel Girl needs you right now. She's been needing you up there. She's on the high ground. Again, if you would have taken it further back, again, and yes, there's other healers too, but
Ultron's been scrapped.
She's right above you. If this is your perspective, so in theory, you should have seen that. You should have seen her.
That's better.
Look up. And again, it's on them for not asking. But again, the reason why is because here's what's happening. It's a thing. You're becoming tunnel vision. You're good. You're trying to heal your team. I get it. You didn't mean to not see her. But I'm not missing the point. Well, so here's the thing. As someone, if you're saying you're the best healer on the team, and you're saying you have reason, why, if you notice the other healer is not healing, again, however fast it took to realize that, why wouldn't you, again, this all depends on how much you care about the game. If you don't care about the game, you're not going to do what I'm talking about. But if you care about team, it's not about getting sweaty. It's not about trying hard. But if you care about helping do your part to make sure the team wins, meaning so you're always willing to make a change, and you notice their support's not healing, why wouldn't you automatically as a healer fall back to a position to where you can make sure you can always see the whole team? But I've carried as dagger. If you weren't on any other hero, it would be a little harder because like Luna, she has good healing, but she can't heal a whole team at once. Dagger basically can. And well, it's the thing of this. Let me see here. Let me see how you use her. Cause let me see something. No, listen. Okay, here's the thing too. I've been using dagger. Now I've only used her a few times because I just started using her. But the moment I start using a character, I amplify the use of their kit exponentially. Watch this. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna show you. Like, listen to this and tell me how this would have worked. Watch.
2, 1.
That is where I am.
The heavenly cities.
So at this point, listen. Tell me I'm wrong here. At this point, wouldn't it have been clutch? Now, obviously before, but you know that you look. Again, this is how you see. You see them pressing. You see them falling back. You see your front line collapsing. Now, if you're going to make the option to stand in that same situation, this is the only way I would do that. Two-way, or it's a two-step process. But hopefully you got to recognize it. If the moment you notice your front line collapsing, you have to, that's cloak and dagger. That's the difference. You fall back as cloak to get safely away with cover to heal, or you push in as cloak. And if you went cloak, you could have pushed in here. Use your blind to blind. No, listen. Use your blind to blind the strange, giving your team a chance to push out of there. And depending on the situation, in that moment, if people are still low, like if I see that happen, I'm coming in towards you anyway to help you out. And when people get low, you use your cloak to cover. Like again, this is in a functioning team. So, but it's not that hard. Just people got to realize how easy this is. It's just. But my point is, this is obviously in a functioning team, a team that's going to synergize. I'm not talking about comps. When people synergize, this will happen. You could use your cloak to blind the strains, cover them, heal them, and either fall back, or again. So you want me to be a damage healer? No, how is that? First of all, that's why they changed it. First of all, the healing position for the longest time has always been called support. People call him a healer. That's why. That's where when people try to make words, they try to make words. When people use words lazily interchangeably, it causes these miscommunications. You have yet to say what the problem is. A lot of problems. I'll list them out. It's not. No one's using cover. I'll list all the problems out. So let's see here. Again, we came here to talk about you. I'm in position. Okay, yeah, support. What does support mean in like period? What is a support? Not a healer, a support. A support does what the entity needs to carry on. You wouldn't though. No, listen. Okay, you must be new to Dagger, or not, or you've not used her feature enough. You know she has a feature where she can cloak herself and her allies, and when you're in that, you can float a little bit, and you can float pretty far backwards. Again, I'll show you here. Wait. I gotta find them because there's like, hang on. I'm gonna show you. If I gotta look for it, but because I don't often do it. Or bet I'll tell you what. I'll queue up a massive quick play and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, that's fine. There's Lord Thor's. I can. That Lord is a title, and while it should mean how good you are, since it can be earned by anyone, it doesn't always. Again, and just because you're a Lord doesn't mean there's not more stuff you can learn. A true Lord, a person that really cares about tactics, is going to know that. There's always things you can learn and do better on or do more about. That's how you. That's the difference between someone earning Lord and just becoming Lord. But a support is I'm supporting as a healer. But okay, that's your choice. That support is supporting as a damage character. But no, Ted. I mean, you just admitted they did more damage than our DPS, which is not necessarily a good point. But I did say, and I do condone the fact that if damage really isn't getting shit done, there's back pause. That's why they changed the word from support to strategist. You strategize. You're not just healing now. You're strategizing. What's the best strategy right now? We don't have damage right now. I wasn't in that position. But you didn't though. You're telling me. Hang on, again, I gotta. It's literally almost faster to do it. Oh wait, hang on. I don't use her that often. It literally be faster to just hopefully get a mode and show you. Like I'm gonna show you how simple it is and how clutch it can be if I can get her. That's the whole point. But you didn't use you didn't though. I showed you in that whole moment. You just backed up.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
We okay. After I show you this, we can go back. Oh well, see, someone's using her. Maybe YouTube. You can't see cloak real quick. I gotta show someone something.
We are Cloak and Dagger.
I'll give it back. I'll give it back. I promise.
And fear.
We'll go back. We'll go back. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Because if I don't, you're not gonna know what I'm talking. You're not gonna understand. You're already not understanding.
Get ready.
You. The fact that you said Cloak would just die going into that, that's not true. I got you. We'll go back. I got you. I haven't forgotten.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission
Mic
area.
off.
Got it?
So this is the end of all it is, huh? Not on my watch, darling.
My time to shine.
Lights out.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Hope I can return the favor sometime.
Mic on.
Sorry about that. I had to mute myself. Sorry about that.
All right, that feels.
All right, I'm back.
Your powers are mine!
Come on, group.
My time to shine.
Thanks. Wish I could hear you back.
But this is what I mean by you can use her aggressively, but like this is not being a DPS dagger. She's meant to be able to engage and disengage.
My time to shine.
There, ahead. I found them. This was Khonshu's will.
My turn.
Maximum pulse!
I got ult ready.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
I have many faces.
Wait, that tree.
Yeah, but what if no one comes to you? Then you end up wasting that ability on one person or yourself.
Glad to help.
Iron Man ult is not always. I only do Iron Man ult if like he's above me and I have no choice. There's no point rushing in there because you're never gonna be faster than it. You just moving, it's faster than you just choosing to walk forward. You wouldn't make it in time. And if you're in the middle of that and that cloak fails, you die with your team.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
This point is covered.
Suffer in the darkness. Let's pop back up with the noses.
Come on, Jeff. What the? See, again, that's the difference between a support that cares about you and a support that doesn't. You see how Jeff left me when I cloaked him? He didn't try to heal me.
Just keep going.
My turn.
And this is what happens when that happens. Again, I'm not saying you weren't the best healer, but when the best healer dies, that's what happens.
Get that vehicle.
Look at that. Look at how fast it turned over.
am ready to put on a show.
Lights out. Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
Why are you backing out of the smoke? What? How did that make any sense?
Lights out.
Please, we're hurt.
My turn.
Again, it's not your fault if people use bad positioning or don't fall back for heals. That's not your fault.
You owe me one.
Your powers are mine!
My time to shine.
Lights out.
They're running it one at a time. That's not your fault as a healer. That stuff's going to just happen.
Get that vehicle moving again.
And it's mostly because Jeff's not really helping heal. This is the same issue you had with Ultron is happening here with me.
My time to shine. This is a critical mission. Move it.
All right, now go right.
I feel like I'm being
You can go above them and flank them.
You got them all.
glad to help.
It's Panthers when you got a Wolverine.
Leave them to Khonshu!
The vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Lights out.
My time to shine.
I am ready to put on a show.
Even better than my mutant power.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
Thanks.
Lights out. Suffer in the darkness. Who needs
They're gonna ult soon.
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
My time to shine. I'll get you next time.
Lights out.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger. My time to
Lights out.
Strong again.
Let's pop back up under their noses. I got what you need.
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Better than my mutant power. Panther needs us to get the job done.
We are Groot.
Leave them to Khonshu!
Lights out. Right on.
My time to shine. Glad to help.
Are gone. Thanks.
So close. This is your big chance.
Thanks.
Lights out.
My time to shine. Glad to help.
Suffer in the darkness.
Your powers are mine!
Glad it wasn't me. Wounds are gone.
My time to shine.
Lights out. Who are you? Really?
Brimstone kitty cat to Panther.
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
I'm Hulk.
My time to shine.
Berserker.
Another epic victory. Big win.
Anyway, let's go back to that video. But yeah, that's what I mean. That's how I use her. I gotta get better with her. I've only used her a few games, but I learned to do that and like been working on that since the second time I used her. Like, oh shoot, because it's never been used before. If ever, it's like it's rarely used if ever. And like that's why I'm like when I discovered that, I'm like, wow, if more cloaks uses, first of all, and when Spider-Man dives you and you have a support next to you, if you do, or if y'all work together, or even your DPS or tank, again, you could cloak that. The moment you realize you're getting dove, like if your tank makes it back to you, like you could have a plan. Like if you coordinate with your plan, or if you coordinate with your tank, you'd be like, you know, if I fall back to you, rather than, because we both know it's better for us to get a chance to get away. So I'm gonna fall back to you. You use cloak to cover us both, so we can relocate, getting a better, like, you know, getting a safer distance from the Spider-Man. So then, but I mean, I don't usually use that because I can, as you've seen, I can kill a Spider-Man very quickly. Oh no, you didn't see it. You were in that match. That was the match before. Oh no, you did see that. You did see that. That was your match. I'm ready whenever you are. I'm just chilling while I wait. What point have I missed? I saw that you said that Ultron was doing a lot of damage. That happened in my game too. You saw that Jeff wasn't protecting me. Even when I came up there to cover him, you saw that he didn't stick by my side to heal me. That's the thing where people, that's hard. Again, you want to know how many problems were in the match that you were in? There were I would say 28 things wrong with our team alone that happened. I'm telling 28 things specifically, literally. If you, again, like this surface level, I'm not even talking, I could say like 100 and some things there, but 28 things specifically. Again, we weren't together. We didn't use cover. We didn't, the tank didn't protect their support, obviously. They weren't checking up. Well, we didn't have a tank. Never mind. So, the team didn't protect the support. I tried. You can't say I didn't try to protect you. The team as a whole. How many times did the two flyers, again, you had an Ultron, you had a DPS Ultron and an Iron Man shooting there and standing in the middle of the open sky flying, meaning, you know, the fact that because they're flying, they're even further away from cover than we are on the ground. At least when you're on the low ground, you being on the low ground still had more cover than the flyers. And not once did, again, think about how easy, but the advantage, that's a weakness. The advantage is technically how hard would it have been for Iron Man to turn around and try to pop some shots at Spider-Man. And what happens is people try to get too cocky and they assume they gotta land every freaking headshot in the fucking game. When sometimes it's good to at least do cover fire, literally cover fire for someone. If you would have shot a couple blasts in your direction or around your feet, Spider-Man would have every Spider-Man, the moment shots start coming their way, and if they get scathed, they fall the fuck back. They Spider-Man, a lot, now I'm different, but a lot of Spider-Man, they chicken out whenever, like, a Spider-Man is most, I won't say afraid, I guess vulnerable, but they're not, but they feel most vulnerable at the initiation of their dive. If they take most dives, especially Spider-Man, if they manage to take damage on the dive in, they fall back because they assume they're going to take follow-up damage. So again, if you land any shot during their dive, that usually fucks up their whole game. And if they do stay in there, again, they're weak again. And if they do, it's honestly smarter. Even as Iron Fist, unless I really know I need to deal with the situation, I fall back the moment I take too much damage or any damage, because it's like, it's not really, especially if I know, I'm not blaming you, if I know my support can't heal me, whether it's because I know I'm too far ahead or I know they don't, like, my thing is, I wasn't insulting you, but I think that's why you got, I think that's why you got mad, because I think it was your team that I said that I played, someone said something and I said I would have had more kills if I could dive more. And basically, I can't remember how I said it, but basically I said that I couldn't dive because support couldn't keep up with me, or I don't know. I implied that, yeah, but basically, I don't know if it's that match or that match before, but all I was implying though was that I recognize that, and it goes to the last game too, due to that person's lack of cover, they, again, first of all, there's 6 reasons why, there's 6 layers of reasons why that support or you can't heal me when I dive the back line like I'm supposed to. You're because you're in the open, you're taking a lot of damage, and even if you're not taking damage because someone happened to see you in the open, you're in the middle of the path. So when your team inevitably backs up towards your direction, if you don't relocate, you're going to be mixed into that fight. And whenever you relocate, every second can and does matter. A person can go from full health to a blip within a few seconds. So every second you spend having to do non-necessary things like relocating, healing extra damage because someone wouldn't take cover, that's taking time in healings from you for a basically better purpose, more or less. Now again, the only time healing, it's not that you're ever worthless, it's that, but the only time healing is ever literally negligible is when the team's not doing anything to stop a push. That's why I often will leave tank or start off as 3rd or 4th DPS, because I don't do it for every game, I do it for certain maps. Certain maps I know the DPS have trouble. They just always, they either never touch, like that's the vampire one, the vampire castle. I usually go Iron Fist. The Vampire Castle, I go Iron Fist. Wakanda, I go Iron Fist. The party place, I can't really call it, but the freaking the place with all the portals, that Emma's world, whatever that's called, that place, that whole map, it's a good map for me to go Iron Fist. Same with Thor. If I got a good pocket, I prefer to be Thor. But if it's a quick damaging game or a hard game, whatever, or if I gotta be quick to kill someone, I'll usually go Iron Fist for those maps because there's a lot of walls and portals. Like, if again, as I said in the match, I think I only ever go Iron Fist if I feel like my team's going to have trouble healing me as a tank. Like, again, if Thor is survivable, but he's big and he's a presence. So when he's there, well, I can dodge and survive as much as I can with my own 2 pixels of health that I can. and a lot of times I'm smart enough. Sorry. A lot of times I'm smart enough to maneuver the fight to an area where I know there's a health pack. Like, there may be a wall on one side of me. Like, there may be a wall, but I know on the other side of that wall is a health pack. So I'll draw the fight to that area, use my hammer to throw myself up into the air, landing on the other side, taking that health pack, and continuing the fight. Or if, you know, let's say it's on really, really low, I can then, you know, push back away into the direction of the next health pack I know there is. Again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna stay fighting. I'm not gonna just run away to when I'm low health, I don't run to spawn. I don't even run to my supports unless they're out there and need my help, or if it seems like the right play. Because I know when I'm a presence, I'm a menace, and that draws attention. So honestly, unless I have to fall back to help with the Spider-Man, I really try not, like, it's really, I can hold, but unless you're, if the team is already struggling in the back line, it's really best for DPS to click together to kill that Spider-Man. Because if I don't, I mean, I'll do the work because something I can make it happen. And now I got the skills to make it happen again. But often what happens is, if I fall back to help you, DPS ain't gonna hold that line. Now, certain DPS with proper cover can and will, but most teams, they're not prepared for that. Most DPS are not prepared to hold the space a tank leaves them. So it can even though I'm coming back to help you, it will and is and can be a massive technical team loss. Like if every play got a point and a negative point, every time I have to fall back to help my support, while it's the right thing to do, and this shouldn't discourage you.
Mic off.
Sorry, I had to
Mic
sneeze.
on.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. While it isn't the wrong thing, while it's the right thing to fall back, that's giving ground. If you know, that's giving ground, period. If your team can't hold it, and especially if they can't reclaim it. You know what I mean? That's the worst thing that happens is I fall back to help support, and it's a thing where I don't want to ever abandon you, but sometimes I have to, because I need to get back to holding the front line. Because at the end of the day, the only way we win is to hold point or push point. And so long as I'm hoping my support sees that and takes the idea that optimizes their own survival, so they can keep pocketing the one person trying to push the point to the end. 2 people can lock in on a game. 3 makes it slightly easier. 2 to 3 people can roll any game if they lock in. If you find a way to essentially give your tank infinite health by infinitely being hard to spot and hard to see and always using cover, yes, they're gonna fight you once in a while. That's fine. That's part of the game. Is ducking cover, healing, ducking cover. Like, you know what I mean? That's how movies happen. Basically, not to be cynical, but like a movie is literally that. The good guy, they gotta take. I mean, like, you know, a super movie, like where they gotta. Well, not really. Older movies, not now. Now it's more one side. It's just scripted and then tunnel, one main line, no one storyline. It used to be like the bad guy or good guy. They had to like do some investigation, look around, be careful, stealthy, all this sort of shit. But hang on. But if you're still, I don't know if you're still here. That's why I was waiting. Oh yeah. But anyway, let's go back to this. And we'll start at the second point.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
And again, unfortunately, we might as well, like, I might as well be trying to show you this with bots. And bots do better, honestly. But my point is, you're fortunate that the enemy team is not aggressive. and distracted and tunnel vision. Because with the comp they had, if you're a lord, that means you've seen enough. You've been around the block, so you know. So you know that with the comp they had, you being where you at, you would have been fried more than you already were.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Got it here, I guess.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Let's not do all that. Let's just start it here.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ball again, Zoe.
If you wish to survive, you speak as if you know strategy. You know nothing.
Mic off.
Ooh, a touch of healing. A boom of life.
Systems rebooting.
Did that put a spring in my step?
Tandy needs help.
I purge the darkness.
I want my soul. Uh-oh. Ultron's been scrapped. I'm not in control. Coming right.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Lights out. Suffer in the darkness.
Kind of vulnerable. Coward sneaking from behind.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Systems rebooting.
I'm not in control. Coming right.
Mic on.
You're telling me that's not in the open?
Tandy needs help. Welcome to the dark. Suffer in the darkness.
Kind of vulnerable.
The reason why I'm being quiet, I'm letting the game speak for itself. You're telling me not in the open right now? But again, the whole reason why you're even in this situation was because of where you were. Like literally, if you weren't there, that would have happened.
Suffer in the darkness.
My life force is
Lights out.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Every time you got dove, you were in the open.
My time to shine.
I get that you're fighting him, but hang on, let's go back. Like, that's what I'm talking about, though. Your safety being in the open, saying you're safe and in the open while in the open is crazy. Like, you see them, like they're right there. You see, look, you're just want to, like, look.
That put a spring in my step.
He's right here.
Ultron's been scrapped. I'm not in control.
And that's what I'm telling you. You can't be like in the open area saying I'm safe right now because look he's right there, just on your ass.
Welcome to the dark. Suffer in the darkness.
Kind of vulnerable.
Coming up. If you want to be honest, again, if you were already over here, you could have fallen back up here in the first place. But again, and assuming you could make that heal difference, your team would have held here in the first place. If the support has to fall back anyway, then it's gonna be problems. Again, it's a little different. Again, it's not your fault they're not using cover. But if your mentality is I can heal them anyway, okay, let's assume you can heal. Let's assume you have the healing for that. You're too busy having to back up in general because again, obviously you see the point coming. So again, you have the instinct to back up, but that's the thing though. Your body is naturally telling you're literally your mind is naturally telling you to back up because you see danger's coming. You wouldn't have to back up from your if you were already in cover. You wouldn't have to back up.
That put a spring in my step.
Like again, if you're worried about okay, where could you be? Okay, at this point, I'm looking. Okay, we see. Let's see here. Cause I looked at it before. There's a health pack right here. Yeah, right here. There's a health pack right here. You could have been here. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the way this is. But oh, here. Like this whole time, like it would have been like, if you wanted me to be honest, you should have started. Again, they're not ideal, but if you were here, again, it's not ideal, but like, let's see here. Is there a portal right there? There's a let's see here. Again, you see me. You can't say I wasn't there for you. I was waiting. Shit, I can only do so much. Shit. And I was on it again. Wait. Let me back this up too. The moment Spider-Man was on your ass, the moment he was on your ass, anyone who came at you, but again, the whole team had to push that way to deal with the person that was coming towards you, and because again, there's no coordination. All three of us didn't need to fall back to get that person. Again, I was all again. If there's coordination, people would have saw that. I already had her taken care of, and so basically, our team collectively gave up the point for no reason. They could have at least stopped and held there. Now you're over here by yourself. Again, not necessarily your fault, but if you're talking about what can you do as an individual, if your team is performing excellent, but they're not awful. You again, if they're right here, you're the one isolated, and I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying like it again. If you were already here, again, look at this angle here from the enemy team. Look at that. Like it's so hard to see. Like you could have been here, and like again, if they can't see, if you can't see them, they can't see you because you already know you can look a person. Some heroes have different perspectives. But most supports, they can look around a corner. You know what I mean? You don't have to. Let's look. Hang on.
Looks like you're halfway there. Keep going.
You have a little bit of a skew to where you could look around a corner. So in this room here, like again, you could assuming you work and you press, you could heal from here. You could heal from here using this edge here. Or when I tell people cover doesn't have to be right in front of you. So there's this box here, right? And this is not ideal because there's people there. When I say use use angles for cover, let's like back up a little bit for you. At this point, first of all, you already know they're coming this way. So honestly, let me see what you got at this point. At this point, the best thing you can do right now is use your cloak to disappear. That's the best thing you could have done at this point to save yourself. Since your team's over here anyway, you're not going to regroup with them anytime soon. Unless if I wasn't dead, I would regroup with you anyway. But assuming they survived, your best bet with you know where the point's going to go. Even if your team is over there, that don't matter. At this point, that don't matter. At this point, that ground's lost. Especially what are you going to do by yourself? Not to insult you. At this point, you should be assuming the point's lost. I need to reposition to a better spot. So team's dead anyway. You can either run back towards spawn, or you can go back around this bin. And at this point, Spider-Man's over here still. He's not really concerned about you. You chose to spend this extra time. Once again, yes, you want to heal your team, but this is lost. There's nothing you can do for them. Star-Lord's not going to do shit for you. He's not there for you. As a support, the two people you look out after most in the game is your team and yourself. If your team is not there, you're looking after yourself. You could use your cloak to come back here and again, double, even better. Now, I wouldn't do this if you don't have to, because the moment you do this, they're going to know you're there. Some people be tunnel vision. That Punisher clearly don't see you. He's tunnel vision. If he saw you, you know he'd be beaming your ass. Or if he was focused on you, you know he would be shooting you. But he's not. He's tunnel vision on the team over here. But theoretically, you could use your blind to blind the enemy, giving yourself a few seconds to run away. Then again, if you're a Lord Dagger, you have a natural sense for when your enemy will no longer be blinded. Before that happens, use your cloak to disappear, to go around one of these corners, and you know, wherever you want to set up to be there for your team. Now, ideally, with how big this map is, I would start going this way. I would start going this way, play it safe, assume it's going to take your team a minute to get back to you. Don't go right here unless you're in a situation where you know your team's going to come back for you. Like I'm gonna give you all perspectives. If you think or know your team can make it back and you're on this point, this is a good room to be in. This is a good room. There's a portal. Hang on. This is a good room to be in. Let's see here. Let's look around here for a little bit. Got the health pack. You can be right there. A lot of people don't really be checking corner to corner. So like you could really like heal there and wait there for your teammates till they get back. Once they're back again, because your team can see you anyway. So if the point hasn't made it there yet and you're right here and it should be your tank, their first tank, or whoever gets there first, you can regroup with them or 2 DPS. And if they're not coming back here, you can slip this way with cloak again. Like again, it's tactics. It only helps to use cover. Like how is it better to be in the open? Look, it's too late to do that. Okay, but we're looking at the whole play here. We're going to get there. You want me to focus on a specific area? That's coming up.
I was getting kind of worried.
You're dodging bullets because you're in the open. You're not using cover. Now, if you want to know where you can be from here, now again, we got every situation has a lead up. So as a support, it's not like you popped in the situation. So ideally, I'm not trying to skip again. From this point again, you're still in this corner. The whole reason why you're still in this corner is because you chose to remain here. I'm not trying to grill you, but you should have you should have repositioned. Now you came back out, but you're in the middle of the fight. Again, but that's what I'm saying. If your natural inkling is to use cover, and you change your understanding of what cover means to the fact that being in the open is not always cover. Sometimes that does work. If you know your team is holding, cool, whatever. But the moment, especially the moment you realize your front line is scattered and not holding, your gamer instincts to tell you, I shouldn't be down here. You shouldn't be down there. Spider-Man's gonna come for you no matter what. But guess what? If you're on high ground, especially on this point, because of how high ground is, most dives can't see you from up there. That. Why does it do that to me? Oh, I see. That's weird. Here. So you're right there. Back up a little bit. You could go up there, but that's not a good spot because hell is there. Let's see again. I'm trying to see like you don't just land in these situations. You do, but you don't. Like, okay, so let's see. Like, technically, this is the first when you leave this portal. It's the first chance you give yourself to like escape. So let's see what you do with it. At the very least, what you could have done or should have done to do better. Again, you're tunnel visioning. I'm not trying to. So everyone does it. It's a problem in high ranks too. But because you didn't even either, you can claim you did, and if you did, that's weird because you chose to back up towards them. I'm going to assume you didn't notice them. But there's people here. You backed up into enemies. And again, I get it because it's because you're fighting people. I get that. But if it again, it's just tactics. If your inkling is to always have high ground and cover, then your instincts would have told you to first of all back away from the enemy, back towards spawn. Now, if you would look for teammates, I'm right here, and you know again, if you pay attention, as I'm saying, it's important to pay attention. If you have noticed this whole game, I've always fallen back for you, and I was the only person in comms. So if at this angle, at some angle, if you pay attention, you should have seen me and come towards me. I would have helped. And if not, if for some damn reason I didn't come towards you, you could have gone to high ground. Most people aren't going to look for that. And even if he does notice you, he's not going to have time to get up there. Our Moon Knight's going to see him before he bothers you, and that's a support. So you know he's probably going to go for that person. You could have gone to high ground. And we wouldn't dug, you know what I mean? And there's a health pack in there, I'm pretty sure. Or then he kills me. If I survive.
If I get hit, it's gonna hurt.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I mean, I feel I respect your vibe, but wait. Again, but hang on, wait. I'm not trying to like be on you like that. But hold on, hold on now, partner. What? Because it was right here, right?
Get ready. Here come the bad guys. You're a lifesaver.
Let me move that.
Ultron's been scrapped.
I went back too far, obviously, but whatever. But again, at that point, and that's not your fault. Well, it isn't. It's not your fault because first of all, saying it's your fault is not fair because it's a vast thing for people to not know how to position. But no, you could have. You could have. You could have cloaked. Or wait. No, never mind. But even again, not to judge you, but if you're gonna spit again, I'll give you that you didn't have cloak, but the fact is you chose to immediately start fighting. Like again, if you're like I said again, the moment you that's I don't want to say it doesn't make it worse because again mistakes happen, so whatever. But the moment it was clear, the moment you had time to breathe, you should have relocated. You have no business being front line. Again, things happen, tunnel vision, you were really focused. Your adrenaline was probably going because you just survived the Spider-Man. Which my tips are never personal. It's not about who you are or how you are or whatever. It's just that's why again my tips, the first tips I give, I always make sure they're easily blanketable. You know what I mean? Use cover. Use more cover because they will genuinely help. And then I guess that's what I tell people. That's why I send the link because rather than talk the ear off of people in game chat, which I understand how that can be annoying and is annoying. There's unfortunately some stuff is going to have to annoy you. Me telling my team to use cover, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to get annoyed by that because they need to hear it. Some people listen, some people don't. It is what it is. But for those, and some people don't like to hear it. And they argue and they'll work it out and talk about it. But again, then they see that I'm not being a dick. I'm just being honest that in this moment, again, you could have went up there. You could have went up there. There's a health pack here. You could have been behind this pillar. Like, again, the harder you are to see at any point in the game, clearly the harder you'd be to dive. If they can't see you, let's not be so hyperbolic. If they can't see you 500 meters away, they won't make that choice 500 meters away. You know what I mean? It's one thing for a DPS to suddenly realize you're there. And then like a Spider-Man, he's got to like really react. Now again, hopefully you don't get caught. But again, that's the point. That's the whole point of having cover is if you get caught, and that's the whole point of your cloak is, oh, I get caught. You use your cloak to get out of that situation. Use your cloak. You should have, cause you don't have to hold it, right? I don't, cause my ping is different. I've never tried holding cloak and pinging, but I'm pretty sure you can ping while you're in cloak. Again, the moment you ping someone, if your team doesn't immediately fall back to you, they're novice. And again, the reason why I talk more about this is, again, I'm not just targeting supports or DPS or tank. Everyone needs to work on these things in order for the game to go how they're expecting it to go. I'm not saying you did, but I just... How is this front line? What do you mean? Front lines means, I mean, I use it, and I think it generally means being in the middle of the main fight. That's front line. You're in front. You're definitely not mid-center, and you're definitely not back of the line. Like, I'm talking about this point here. This point here, from this point forward, right now, right, if we're talking technical terms here, right now, you're technically still... Actually, let me look here. Let me look around here. Because your team has died, I mean, if I want to be a nitpicker, you're in the front until these people pass you up. You are in front line. You are the front of the line. Again, and I'm not trying, but I'm saying, like, generally speaking, that's why it's important to also know your surroundings, because you probably didn't even, again, it's a new map for all of us, but you didn't even realize probably that you're backing up towards the enemy side of the field. Take this on. If you look at this, if you made a square here and cut it in half and had it label one side team, one side another team, you know this is the enemy side. So even if I'm not here, you just got pressured, and you know you have no cooldowns, or it's about to have one. You're about to have again. But in the sense that you just got to a situation where you had to use your cooldowns, why wouldn't you go this way to debrief yourself? And if you want to get so gung-ho to get back in the action, go up here, shoot a couple missiles. You know what I mean? Again, why not come this way? Like, what, you know what I mean? It's worth the few seconds it takes to find yourself some cover. Always.
Here's this life.
I outnumber you.
Do your worst.
I'm just doing this because I'm just showing like how the pace of the game. There's Spidey. We're gonna track him. There's Spidey. Now again, pause. You wanted me to point out the problems with the team? This is exactly the problem. This is exactly the... Now, again, I'm doing my best to chase down the Spider-Man so he's not harassing you so much. And he's going to get pissed when he can and how he can. Look at this. You lost track of the Iron Man. And again, if you use cover, you have significantly less things to worry about. So the real chance of you missing it, your teammate, doesn't happen. You're telling me if you were in a position where you weren't having to dodge bullets, yeah, I see you're dodging bullets and you're doing good, cool.
I don't think that's the welcoming.
Healed at last.
And I don't like that Iron Man's flying so low, but honestly, let me be honest. I think he's trying to defend you. I think he knows you're behind him. So when, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think Iron Man is trying to be there for you.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Because the way he was beaming, like, I don't know, it's a weird, and again, that's what I think most Iron Mans do. While I hate seeing it, I love seeing Iron Man play close to his team more than one seeing it far away from him, because at least he's a team player. I just need Iron Man to start meeting that idea in the middle. Like, Iron Man would be more useful up here off to, like, use peripherals is a thing. You're a flyer because, like, the reason why it's helpful to be a flyer is because you can be up here, just beyond the horizon of what people can see, and taking people out. That's why, you know, that's why it's a tactical thing to be a flyer. People have to actively look up to target you. The amount of seconds that pass from someone noticing a flyer, think about it. You get shot from a flyer. Pew, that's 1 second, basically. You look up to find them. However long that takes you to find them. Now you got to aim at them. All that time can mean damage, lost lives, whatever. You're taking enemies. Again, a flyer can be a massive good help if used properly. But when they're in the open, taking no cover, and you know, and you're on a team that you're facing a team that knows how to aim, it's a problem.
That's the stuff.
Just embrace the light.
That put a spring in my step.
That's much better.
No, I know. I'm saying I think he's look at how he was positioned in front of you when he beamed. Again, he might not have been, but it was weird that he chose to put his when he was in front of, when he was doing, look, you're telling me that's not, I don't know, it's weird that he did that when you're right behind him, if he's not trying to protect you. I mean, again, it could have been, but like, but again, also, I mean, look, you know those cartoons where someone says like, where are they at? And they're like, they're behind me, aren't they? They're literally behind it. Your back should never be, that's one of the most cliche things to be told about in like fighting or battle. Your back should never be turned to the enemy for any reason. I mean, again, sometimes you're caught with your pants down and it happens, but other than that, I mean, how many times are you fine being caught with your pants down? You feel me? Like, again, it happens, but there are things you can do to mitigate that number. And that's why I do tell people this. I tell people, well, two things. I tell supports to stay behind me or in front. If I'm support, I tell them to stay in front of me because I want to be able to see them all without having to turn around, because that just exposes you. But again, same with DPS though. If there's a DPS that's low and behind you, like, that's one thing. But like even then, if there's DPS should not be going behind you to get heals. Because that, if you follow that, you end up turning your head to the battle. You don't see someone aiming at you when you get sniped. You've literally backed yourself to a wall. You've literally got your back to a wall.
If I get hit, it's gonna hurt.
I'm not trying to be mean. You literally backed so far until you literally couldn't back up any further to a wall. Whereas if you were up here, you would have a little more play to run around in this little area, use your cloak to disappear, jump down here, do cheeky things, be cheeky. You know what I mean? I don't think they can see when you portal. So technically, you could have cloaked, used that portal. Most portals have a health pack on the other side of them. Portal through there without anyone even noticing you. Come back however you needed to get back to the field. It would be better for support to. It's not really wasting it, but I'm using it sarcastically. It would be better for support to waste 5 seconds looking for a health pack than having to use 15 seconds to get back to point.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
And this is literally all because we're just look, it's just one person pushing us. And he's not that good. We're just making it easy on him.
Without Spider-Man,
us against the world.
And one thing that's one thing that close need to stop doing. It's a common thing, but like you got. Like, cloaks use their abilities too offensively sometimes.
You get a web and you
all around.
that one hurts.
Like, again, if you see their team, you know what ults are coming up.
We don't deliver this.
Like, I can't even see it, but I'm pretty sure.
Let's go. Let us hope this core undoes Ultron's efforts.
And the reason why it seems like not a good time to take cover is because this has been a role from the start, because we've never once fallen back to regroup, and even as we are together, we don't take the time to take cover. So we can't. We're constantly hitting S because we're constantly taking damage, because we're constantly in the open as a whole team. So you have no breather. Again, you are working hard. But everyone's breathing hard right now because everyone's in the fucking open panicking. Mine's going crazy. Look how casual they're walking through us. And it's not that they're good. It's just that's the difference. That's how big a difference positioning can make. No matter how good or bad, how good you are. Period. Now, what's my perspective? Well, what am I focused on? Because, you know, I mean, I'm not really there for you like that, but what am I doing?
By the eye of Agamotto! Judge, jury, executioner!
But I mean, really watch how I play. I practice what I preach, literally. When it comes to movements, cover, all that shit. You'll see it in action. You see how I backed up into that health pack while facing him? While using my hammer throws? The moment I touched the health pack, I both did 3 things. I backed up, touched the health pack, used my hammer to launch stuff at him.
Judge, jury, executioner!
And let me show you my previous. We'll go back to this if you want. Let me show you my previous match before you and what I had to deal with. You know what's funny? I think we faced each other because some of those names were familiar. No, it wasn't. No.
The battle starts in 5, 4.
This is what I deal with on the regular as a tank. That's why I finally started just telling people generally how to play, because really so many people just don't know how. I mean, I struggled in this game because of how my team was playing functionally.
Heads up, hostiles.
I like the cold.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area!
So long, turret.
I like the cold.
Control seized!
Gamma shield!
This is what I do in every game. I'm not just looking for I'm not just killing random things. I'm looking for problems that my team got. The moment we secure the point, I check both the flank and the back, the front, flank, side, everything to make sure there's no one really being too sneaky. No matter what team I'm on.
Mic off.
Enemies will attack soon. Repairs are in order.
Control lost!
If at first you don't succeed,
I'll try virus reinforcement.
I'm
Hulking out! Hulk grateful. Hulk protect.
Got my own cover. Nice.
I suck.
Hulk protect.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Feels so good. Gamma shield.
Bionic grip.
They've almost got it!
banners back.
Domination. Our adversaries gather. I am barely wounded.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Wrath of Asgard.
It's the grand finale.
I'm doing this
No
my
more
way.
solo.
To battle again.
Kneel, peasants!
Seconds
I will
before you
dare
attack.
the very
Get
gates
ready.
of hell to save Asgard. This is my unnatural selection.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
Embrace perfection.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
A bad guy is a bad guy. No real difference between any of them.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
A strong defense. Battle fury burn.
Us against the world!
Behold the god of thunder! Throw down.
I like the cold. We captured the mission area!
The lightning of Asgard returns.
Solo's fury!
Let's dance. Elements! Let me return the favor.
A nice deep freeze.
Look up behind you. I suck.
You'll fall long before I do.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
This is my unnatural selection.
Hostiles up front.
A shield? That'll work.
I like the cold.
Look up behind you.
They've almost got it!
I'm doing this my way. Technology will only carry you so far.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Fantastic! Solo's fury!
Must look behind.
Let me return the favor.
Extermination!
Us against the world!
Dragon kick!
This is a nice spot.
Mic on.
You saw how hard I worked for that point. And my team had the nerve to say I didn't do anything because my stats were lower than someone else's. I can't remember what it was. I mean, it has something to do with my stats. Yeah, I was 6-6 and people were like talking shit about that. I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, y'all gotta start paying attention more what a person does. If you're gonna pay so much, if you're gonna critique them on their stats, you better actually be paying attention to what they're doing. I actually pay attention. I personally, like, it may sound like I'm not, but if I feel like if someone allows me to be passionate about what I'm talking about, especially when it's towards them, I'm going to be passionate. Meaning, if I'm passionate and honest and a friend or whatever, all that above, I'm not going to lie to you and sugarcoat things. I'm also not going to be a dick, and I'm not trying to be a dick. Sometimes I'm a sarcastic asshole, I guess, but like not really. But even then, I keep it tasteful because once you see it from the right perspective or right understanding, you'll see how it wasn't even that big of a insult or joke. I wasn't being mean. I was just being very to the point of what specifically was going wrong and how there's so much can happen from so little of the right thing. Wait, so much can go wrong from doing wrong. That's better. Like this support here, that's what it was. That support. That was support I told to take cover more, and they took offense to it. And so I mix you up with them a little. I mean, I know when I talk to you who I was talking to, but some of the complaints that I was sending your way was from them in this match. Now that I remember. They were saying that they weren't getting enough cover, and that's actually why when I said it to you, that the reason why I said it so fluently and so sassily was because I literally you said the exact same thing as the person said in the previous match, and because it's that common of an issue. He was asking fucked up. By the way, give me a minute. The reason why I'm pausing is because I'm taking preparing some medication. Time to medicate.
Mic off.
Go ahead, take a little money, it ain't no sweat. You gon' make it back with some more bread. Probably have another by yourself, a little Rolex. You can make the money up with no stress. Picking your back for pennies, that's go tag. Don't you wanna have your mom getting more rest? All that money's just waiting, dog, go fast. Yo, put a little more. She will never know. And we don't fall, feel it, we so close. Maybe one more chip, we can get that bro. We can be so close. Be the one who earn, not the one who owe, not the one who call. They know your phone, we can bring it all, we can bring it home. We just gotta take a little more.
Evil robot down, just with the doctor order.
Mic on.
You see, because that support decided to use her damage boost, whatever thing, to take out that one person, even if they happen to kill him, she couldn't heal her team fast enough. That would have saved. That would have taken care of all that. That would have clutched the Punisher, who could sustain fire, which would keep the enemy back.
Be strong together.
Strong again.
Battlefield ready again.
I was worried.
Your team's capture progress is past the halfway point.
Some help. How? You're frozen.
That's the stuff.
I'm making a comeback.
They've almost got it!
Extermination!
How? You're frozen.
I'm ready to put on a show!
I'm doing this my way!
Assemble!
Right behind.
Who the fuck are you, bitch? You ain't got a billion, everybody move it. The goose with missions make a different kind of movements. You block our vision, see a different kind of crew, bitch. Different kind of crew, bitch. Who the fuck are you, bitch? You ain't got a billion, everybody move it. The goose with missions.
All I ever wanted to do was sing, really.
You block our vision, see a different kind of crew.
I will dare the very gates of hell to save Asgard.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
One job and it's roll on. You can roll with it, rolled on. If you wrote script, you get rolled off. It takes valentine to be
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
When all seems lost, just listen for the sound of thunder.
You ain't got a billion, everybody move it. The goose with missions make a different kind of move.
Looks like the mission
Mic
area
off.
is yours to capture now.
A strong defense.
Us against the world!
Behold the god of thunder!
I like the code. Capture the mission area!
The lightning of Asgard returns.
You fight it for the title, you entitled, but irrelevant. Unless you talk and make it move. I don't see the relevance. Now they follow everywhere I go. I take the struggles everywhere I show up. They wanna be there when I go. They know I just take the lead in my scrotum. We roll up, we roll up. They once we grown up, we roll up. They don't see how we keep going up.
Let me return the favor.
A nice deep freeze.
Extermination!
Behind you.
You'll fall long before I do.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Who the fuck are you, bitch?
This is my unnatural selection.
A shield? That'll work.
I like the code. They've almost got it!
I'm doing this my way! Technology will only carry you so far.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Fantastic!
You must look behind!
Let me return the favor.
Extermination!
Us against the world!
Trying to kill me, that's the only way that I'm retired. fuck with you, bitch? You ain't got a billion, everybody move it. The goose with missions make a different kind of movements. You block our vision, see a different kind of crew, bitch. Different kind of crew, bitch. Who the fuck with you, bitch? You ain't got a billion, everybody move it. The goose with missions make a different kind of movements. You block our vision, see a different kind of crew, bitch. Different kind of crew, bitch. Hey, what you saying? You don't think I'll be the king? You don't think I got a brain? Who need brain when you slaying them? Why you need some brains when your main got the blades and your game got them things on it? Pray for me, Ace. Father up in heaven, so roll down, so I've been calling Severance. I chop you into pieces, you ain't bucket swapping. You fighting for the title, you entitled, but irrelevant. Unless you talking, make it moving. I don't see the relevance. No, now they follow everywhere I go. I take the struggles everywhere I show up. They wanna be there when I blow up. They know and they know and no. I just take the lead in my scrotum. We roll up, we gonna stay. Once we've grown up, we all up. They don't see how we keep going up. Bitch get shown and jump. We don't give a fuck. Better duck. Got that monkey butter. Do you got for fun? You in the trunk. Got them pistol fists. The cripple leave you slum. We from the slums. So bitch, I guarantee you never getting us. Who the fuck are you, bitch? You ain't got a billion. Everybody move it. The goose with missions make a different kind of movements. You block our vision, see a different kind of crew, bitch. Different kind of crew, bitch. Who the fuck are you, bitch? You ain't got a billion. Everybody move it. The goose with missions make a different kind of movements. You block our vision, see a different kind of crew, bitch. Different kind of crew, bitch. Who the fuck are you, bitch?
If I went back, wish I could do it again. All enough time, ended up losing my friend. Never look back, never thought I would regret. That was the plan. Now I see how it's gonna end.
I didn't want it this way, but this is the way that it is. Really, I wanted to change, but didn't think it would be left to the kids. How is it every war is the same? It's always the evil that lives, and you ain't got no one to blame. Except for the man in the mirror. You tried to show me a different way. What did you know what I didn't change? Feeling controlled and I dip away. Shot every word and I went away. On different pages, still the same. Feel like I'm walking a mirror maze. That's the reflection of dimmer days. The path of the shadows is the parade. Never been the same since you left. Only you cheat how we play. Drop a little blood, I see red. Under the ring of God we lay. So I will rain death on them. And in the end I will beg. But you will. I'ma put you through the type of pain if you will understand. It's too late, leave the whole talk with the butane. You can end up being human. We tried it your way, and it always end up the same. And never we gain. It's always a battlefield, but on that other brothers are slain. But in my world, they're in a battlefield. When it's done, man, I know you'll say.
If I went back, wish I could do it again. All enough time, ended up losing my friend. Never look back, never thought I would regret. That was the plan. Now I see how it's gonna end. If I went back, wish I could do it again. All enough time, ended up losing my friend. Never look back, never thought I would regret. That was the plan. Now I see how it's gonna end.
Live in the shadows, but what you expect when the gut is gutter? All you motherfuckers on your mother's side and don't want nothing but a lunch and supper while your brothers run for cover. Got them ducking under other brothers. You won't give them nothing, but you want a buffer. Then you run when they get ugly. Others suffer, but when you get bloody bloodshed, now it's something no one know innocent. But you all act so ignorant. But it don't make no difference. None of my world you're living in. I would call this ambitious. Scammers may call it imprisonment. Freedom's a privilege. Look what you did with this. Sending your children to die for its citizens. Crooked composers, they're laming our instruments. Crooked composers, they playing. You fiddling, playing like I can keep playing. We're sending them. Pray on the world, but then pray on the innocent. Praying on me, but you pray on you living this. I just want it to flip it. All they talking, nobody listen. All they talking, bring all your numbers. Better keep count when I remove digits. No, I didn't choose this road, but you refused to grow. That's why I do this, bro. That's why I do this, bro. Cause all you do is hope. And we've been through this, bro. And I won't do this, no, I won't.
If I went back, wish I could do it again. All enough time,
All right, so this is a Baki track, right? So the chorus just has to be so over the top. Then I'ma come in. I'm just gonna be talking to him at first, you know what I'm saying? And then like, I'ma flip it, no pun intended. And then you gonna come in and then shut this bitch down.
Down to my bones, no, I'm a fighter, and there ain't no point avoiding that. I'll be my father for my mother, blood is boiling out. My opponents feel like nothing they destroyed. Becky Hammer come to place where the toys are. I don't care if I'm the strongest or on the bed. I only want one to defeat my dad. Yujiro Hanma, I promise you you're dead. And me I'll have my revenge.
Everybody talking about my pops, well I don't give a fuck. I'm the kind of guy you disrespect and end up in the trunk. I'm the kind of guy they talk about, I show they shrivel up. Drive by, except I'm shooting all the ones that's driven up. Bitch, I'm all up in that ass, that's offensive. In your butt, I've been on that Neosporin tip and mobbing in the cut. Number one's the only option, like the count I've risen up and left them floating in the water, what we call them sitting ducks. To be the best, you gotta beat the best. So if you wanna ship a lethal test, well this could be addressed. I call my fist the operators, dial it up and reconnect. Got optic fiber flow, I do a gig and make the beat arrest. Oh, I just wanna be the top of the league. Diesel fitter must be dominant jeans. Wolf inside has built the body to sheep. So if you wanna live, then follow my lead. OPPS, so the opposite is me and my OPPS. But they opposite me and they dope fiends. I ain't talking about weed. When I roll up, they get chronic fatigue. I don't need a gun. It's a classified as nuclear. Those who claim immovable, I take them and they're moved to tears. Those who claim immovable, I take them and I move them tears. And when I'm through with losers, give their asses back as souvenirs.
Most know I'm a fighter and there ain't no point avoiding her.
Bitch, don't get it twisted, bested by a distance. You and me are different. You ain't gotta listen to the hits and they ain't never dipping. Every time I slip, they dip into the trenches. Every shot I take, I kill with just a snippet. Popping off and living, baby, you should zip it. I can never quit, I'm living with the sickness. It was then the rest of haters, they just dip it. Listen to the flow and listen to the lyrics. Listen to the cadence, listen to the rhythm. Listen to the words and listen to the vision. Rags, all the bitches spit with different physics. It's ridiculous. Get a hold of your tongue or it's lickety split. You wanna get turned up? Well, it's turn up. It ain't shit but a flick of the switch. Bitch, I can go on a bit. All this barking's ironic. I didn't squawk to my father. We just withdrawed it and bothered with all the talking and fodder. You're wondering why I brought it up easy. You are my sons and I ain't talking to harming them. Come and fight me. I've seen the world and ain't nobody like me. Surgical since day one. You operating on a tight beat. I'm a motherfucker. You can peep it on the ID. You'll get laced up a cutter. Have you flying out your night.
Down to my bones, no, I'm a fighter and there ain't no point avoiding that. I'll be my father for my mother, blood is boiling out. My opponents feel like nothing they destroyed. Becky Hammer come to place where the toys are. I don't care if I'm the strongest or on the bed. I only want one to defeat my dad. Yujiro Hanma, I promise you you're dead. And me I'll have my revenge.
Bitch, I'm about to go crazy. And there ain't nothing you can do about it if you wanted to break me. I promise you all of you dropping you college, so you better take me. I'm grading your squad on the curse, so it's cute, but you think you're the 18. You get frightened if you wanna daydream. I got your life on the string. Top a tier. You don't wanna fight with the king. I'm a never tear. Send you rock killers to the ring. Motherfucker, where? Go on what you got. You gon' get that belly button pierced. All I know is that I'm in control. Where I point, they go. I just flow. Bitch, I'm in the gutter, ain't no other motherfucker like me. Chef Dose, I'ma put you in the oven. I want it all. Bitch, I'm a button. You up in the club, then I'm leaving you blushing. I speak through the blick, it's a heated discussion. They put you on leave, it won't leave you with nothing. Talking about breaks, you ain't in a discussion. I put on this beat and I'm immediate busting. Yo, take heed. Where there is fire, we go. I'm really wanting these smoke. You animals fighting ego. Baby, I got your mind in these scopes. Bitch, I stay flossing, don't care about these hoes. You can get popped for the life I be low. I just wanna see these bitches running. Then you see a partner, they are stumping. Then you see a body turn to nothing. Then you realize that you were done it. Me and all my crew will get you jumped in. Did it mind your nose and now it's sunken. Rat-a-tat-tat like a junkie. Rat-a-tat-tat. Now you dumb bitch. Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. If you got a problem, how I'm talking, come and see me. On that Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. Trust me, infamy. I would rise to the top, but you think that I'll do to your syndicates. I don't need gibberish. You resist and I'll take you to river Styx. And that's canon, I'll paint you a picture, bitch. Your fans see these hits and they slip a disc. I'm at the top of the pyramid, taking the life that I didn't get. Healthy resolve, but you ill-equipped. You see black on the forces and shit a brick. Insubordinate's prohibited. You devise, put your limbs in the dividends. That's your dying wish, and then I'm forgetting it. Go to your funeral, coffin, and kick it in deeper. Mouth like a cleaver, bitch, I'm the reaper. If the pen's a sword, I'm murdering features. I am an alien, bitch, I'm a creature. Do lagoon looking good with the hater. Bitches think they cold, I put them in freezers. All your lines are dry, I'm dripping in reverb. Eyes wide, got them looking like lemurs. Seen the rap that got it, now they believers. Black force energy. When the bitches speak stomach, what it's sending me. When the top list drop, you an NFT. Not feature. I turned your track on and fell asleep. I was on the building and they played your music and I thought to myself I better leave. Got a magic trick, I'ma take your body, then I turn it into a memory. I just want you to know. I just want you to know that I'm a demon. I just wanna see these bitches running. Then you see a partner, they are slumping. Then you see a body turn to nothing. Then you realize that you were nothing. Me and all my crew will get you jumped in. Did it mind your nose and now it's sunken. Rat-a-tat-tat like a junkie. Rat-a-tat-tat. Now you dumb bitch. Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. If you got a problem how I'm talking, come and see me. On that Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. I'm on it. Trust me, little body, you don't want it. I'm a demon. Bitch, I'm about to go crazy. And there ain't nothing you can do about it if you wanted to break me. I promise you all of you dropping you college, so you better take me. I'm grading your squad on the curse, so it's cute, but you think you're the 18. You get frightened if you wanna daydream. I get your life on the string. Top a tier. You don't wanna fight with the king. I'm a never tear. Said you rock killers to the ring. Motherfucker, where? Go on what you got. You gon' get that belly button pierced. All I know is that I'm in control. Where I point, they go. I just flow. Bitch, I'm in the gutter, ain't no other motherfucker like me. Chef Dose, I'ma put you in the oven. I want it all. Bitch, I'm a glutton. You up in the club, then I'm leaving you blushing. I speak through the blick, it's a heated discussion. They put you on leave, it won't leave you with nothing. Talking about breaks, you ain't in a discussion. I put on this beat and I'm immediate busting. Yo, take heed. Whether it's fire, we go. I'm really wanting these smoke. You animals fighting ego. Baby, I got your mind in these scopes. Bitch, I stay flossed and don't care about these hoes. You can get popped for the life I beat up. I just wanna see these bitches running. Then you see a partner, they are slumping. Then you see a body turn to nothing. Then you realize that you were done in. Me and all my crew will get you jumped in. Did it mind your nose and now it's sunken. Rat-a-tat-tat like a junkie. Rat-a-tat-tat. Now you dumb bitch. Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. If you got a problem how I'm talking, come and see me. On that Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. I'm on it. Trust me, little body, you don't want it. I'm a demon. Bitch, I am different. And the depths that I'll go to are limitless. Put a bullet in family, infamy. I would rise to the top, but you think that I'll do to your syndicates. I don't need gibberish. You resist and I'll take you to river Styx. And that's canon, I'll paint you a picture, bitch. Your fans see these hits and they slip a disc. I'm at the top of the pyramid, taking the life that I didn't get. Healthy resolve, but you ill-equipped. You see black on the forces and shit a brick. Insubordinate's prohibited. You devise, put your limbs in the dividends. That's your dying wish, and then I'm forgetting it. Go to your funeral, coffin, and kick it in deeper. Mouth like a cleaver, bitch, I'm the reaper. If the pen's a sword, I'm murdering features. I am an alien, bitch, I'm a creature. Do lagoon looking good with the hater. Bitches think they cold, I put them in freezers. All your lines are dry, I'm dripping in reverb. Eyes wide, got them looking like lemurs. Seen the rap that got it, now they believers. Black force energy. When the bitches speak stomach, what it's sending me. When the top list drop, you an NFT. Not feature. I turned your track on and fell asleep. I was on the building and they played your music and I thought to myself I better leave. Got a magic trick, I'ma take your body, then I turn it into a memory. I just want you to know. I just want you to know that I'm a demon. I'm a demon. I just wanna see these bitches running. Then you see a partner, they are slumping. Then you see a body turn to nothing. Then you realize that you were nothing. Me and all my crew will get you jumped in. Didn't mind your nose and now it's
Charge complete.
Rat-a-tat-tat like a junkie. Rat-a-tat-tat. You dumb bitch. Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. If you got a problem, how I'm talking, come and see me. On that Black Air Force, energy. Yeah. I'm on it. Trust me, little body, you don't want it. I'm a demon. I think that I get it now. The pain that you felt. The women and children you murdered with no one to help. It's starting to sink in, yeah. There must have been hell. You thought I would fold. Now I'ma show you the hand you've been dealt, bitch. I just wanted to see it, yeah. See the look on your face. See your look when I put my foot through every nook in your space. Never been a bitch you thought I was. And now I'm here, boy, that's fate. And now